had the Hilltoppers and Tigers on our Jones Space Link Game of the Week last year, a 19-7 Glenbard West victory. You know Coach John Thorne really wants this game. He was
From beautiful, scenic Dushan Field in Glen Ellen, Jones Space Link Television presents exciting high school football action as the Glenbard West Hilltoppers host the Wheaton-Warrenville South Tigers. Hello again, everyone. Bob Erzik alongside Joe Snidoff, and have we got a gorgeous day for football. Temperatures expected in the mid-80s, winds out of the south at about 10 to 20 miles per hour. It is just a tremendous day for football, and Joe, we couldn't have asked for a better matchup today.
No, we couldn't, Bob. With the Hilltoppers and the Tigers, we're talking about two of the classier programs out here in the western suburbs. These teams are out here to kick a little butt and take no prisoners.
No doubt about it. When you take a look at the rankings coming into this game from the Sun-Times, we've got Wheaton-Warrenville South. They are ranked 4th coming in. On the other hand, this Glenbard West Hilltopper squad under Coach Jim Covert, they are ranked 7th. This is one of the best games in state this weekend, Joe, and every single time these two teams get together, it is an awesome contest.
That's right, Bob. Every game has been close. We had the Hilltoppers and Tigers on our Jones Space Link Game of the Week last year, a 19-7 Glenbard West victory. You know Coach John Thorne really wants this game. He was in one of those sort of crabby moods this week. The team didn't exactly rush to get out here. They were taking their time. So expect the Tigers to really be pumped up and get that ground game going.
And before that game in the playoffs, the Tigers beat this Glenbard West team 7-3, so the last two games have been of tremendous intensity. We're expecting the same here today. But when we take a look at both head coaches, first of all, for Glenbard West, Jim Covert. He comes in his 16th year with an overall record of 112-40. He won a state title in '83 with this Glenbard West team. They are coming off a tremendous 10-1 season as they won their conference, went undefeated in the regular season before losing to Naperville North in the playoffs. On the other hand, for this Wheaton-Warrenville South team, formerly Wheaton Central, that's what you remember them as, they changed schools, so this year they are Wheaton-Warrenville South. Their head man is John Thorne. He is in his 11th season. He has a 70-36 overall record. Last 2 years, he has led this Tigers team to state final appearances before they lost last year and the year before to Mount Carmel. Boy, what a tough one last year.
That's right. If not for a bum call on a 4th-and-1 situation against Chris Wing, a bad interference call. The wide receiver was way out of bounds. I believe Wheaton Central, now Wheaton-Warrenville South, let's get it straight, is, the state champion. But, they've overlooked that. They always move forward.
No doubt about it. We're expecting a great one here today. We had a chance to talk with the coaches earlier in the week. Let's take a listen on their comments about today's game.
We have Javel Knox, who's 215 pounds, and Antoine Watkins is a 205-pound running back, similar to Adler, who's a great back for Wheaton. And then DJ Adorno's a 180-pound running back and has good speed. But I think we're going to need to try to blend that power game with the passing game and the option game to really be able to move the ball with any consistency against Wheaton.
How's Ben Kloss doing at quarterback? Will he be an option style of quarterback, or how does he throw?
He's doing real well. He's had a great summer for us. His throwing gets better every day, and we really like the way he runs the option. We just need to keep polishing up both sides of that. He's still having some problems with who the running backs are going to be that he's with, so we need to get more practice time with the actual running backs that he's going to be playing with.
No doubt about it, both those offenses will play a major role today. But when we took at the offenses, take a look at both teams, pretty similar option style.
That's right, especially with Wheaton-Warrenville South now with Ben Kloss last year. Jeff Brown at the helm, pocket passer. This year, Ben Kloss, he's going to be rolling out a little bit more. He says that Coach John Thorne mentioned to us, Bob, that he's really good in terms of his rollout passing ability. So look for a lot of that, trying to hit Kenny Sonnenberg and Ryan Martin and company. When you take a look at Glenbard West and Bill McBride, he really likes to throw it deep. We visited their camp early on, did a little preview story on our Jones Space Link Sports Week show, and, he'll go to Ryan Mahoney and Matt Brennan as tight ends. And then when you take a look at the backfields, that's where the beauty of this game lies, Bob. With Glenbard West and Javel Knox, he's a bull. And then you look at Phil Adler on Wheaton-Warrenville South, he's bull part 2.
No doubt about it. On the defense is a little bit different. Wheaton-Warrenville South, that is, they have the 5-2. On the other hand, for Glenbard West, kind of the unorthodox 6-1. where they pinch the two outside linebackers and cause a lot of problems on the line.
That's right. When you talk about Glenbard West, Bob, you're going to be talking, of course, about Antoine Watkins, who is just a demon on the defensive line. He's going to try and create some havoc versus a very experienced Tigers front. They got guys like Charlie Wiggins and Justin Frederick. We're talking about guys with playoff experience, and they're going to try and push that Hilltoppers wall, that defensive front, back and try and create some holes for Jimmy Johnson as well, who also will be teaming with Phil Adler. And then you look at Wheaton, Warrenville South, they got the 5-2, as you mentioned, and Davey Mickelson will be doing the same to Glenbard West.
And we got to really take a watch for Christian Olsen, the linebacker. He is one of the guys, one of those Tom Sion types, one of those Aaron Bartnick types for Wheaton, Warrenville South, who was the demon out there on the field.
That's right. Christian Olsen, as Coach John Thorne mentioned us, he's all over the field, flies to the ball, and he's a guy that I'm sure Coach Jim Covert was doing a little scouting on.
And I guess when we take a look at the special teams for both squads, basically the one name that sticks out is kicker Greg Janisek on Glenbard West. This guy has got a booming leg. Kicked the 61-yard field goal at a camp at Ohio State this past summer, and boy, he did well. He's got a super strong leg, and he also won the kickoff contest. Anytime that Glenbard West gets into Wheaton, Warrenville South territory, it's going to be dangerous for them.
That's right. It's a big factor in this contest, and the wind's blowing a little bit, so there's a little breeze behind him, and that's all Janisek needs is a little bit of breeze. The guy's kicking like 55-yarders, no problem. But then you look at Doug McLeod for, Wheaton, Warrenville South, and we'll see if, he can get a boot or two in.
All right, when we come back, we will have the starters and the keys to this contest. It's coming up. Wheaton, Warrenville South, and Glenbard West. It's going to be a great run right here on Jones Spacelink's Game of the Week. Don't go away.
Searching for an enjoyable meal with high-quality service? Then stop in at Seven Dwarfs Restaurant in Wheaton. Dine on a variety of delicious home-cooked breakfast, lunch, or dinner entrees from Seven Dwarfs' extensive menu. Sam and his friendly staff have been serving up homemade soups and entrees with a smile since 1979. That's Seven Dwarfs Family Restaurant, located on the corner of Roosevelt Road and President Street in Wheaton. Open weekdays from 6 a.m. until 11 p.m. and until midnight on weekends.
A child's dream.
When I grow up, I'm going to shop at Small Expressions. They have wearable, comfortable, yet fashionable clothing all year round, from size 0 to size 7. My friends and I will have lots of fun wearing clothes from Small Expressions. Show 'em, Rachel. Show 'em, Mike. Show 'em, Annie Lou. On your bike. Check out Ryan. He's out of sight. Ah.
A child's dream. Small Expressions, located in the 5th Avenue Station, Naperville.
Hey, that's Tom Waller of the Bears.
Hey, Waddle, think fast.
Hey, wait a minute. You can always catch a great deal at Lebo's.
Run, walk, or waddle to the Lebo's nearest you.
If you gotta send a package and it's gotta get there quick, it's pack and send. Pack and send. If you're packing up and moving and you wanna do it slick, it's pack and send. Pack and send. For the boxes and the shipping, any number, any size, they can handle all your packing. You just won't believe your eyes. It's pack and send. 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 520 Weiss Road, Schaumburg. Call 529-PACK and send. 529-PACK and send.
That's 529-PACK.
All right, welcome back to Deshaun Field in Glen Ellen. Gorgeous day for football. We're moments away from the opening kickoff as the 7th-ranked Glenbard West Hilltoppers hosting the 4th-ranked Wheaton Warrenville South Tigers. We got to remember, it's not Wheaton Central any longer. We may say it once or twice, and we apologize.
Wheaton Warrenville South.
That's right. Say that a bunch of times.
Okay.
Let's take a look at the keys for both these clubs here. First of all, for the hosts, the Hilltoppers, coming off a 10-1 season last year. What a great season it was. There you go. They've got to sustain a balanced offensive attack, the triple threat. Also, you have to contain the bull, Phil Adler. Almost 210 pounds. He is a tremendous running back there for Wheaton Warrenville South. He will be tough. And then Greg Janisek, they got to get him in position to kick some field goals.
And then for the Tigers, Bob, they're going to have to halt that Hilltoppers rushing game, and that's Javel Knox. We saw what he can do. He can really get to the outside. Stay out of 3rd and long, because you never know about Ben Kloss. First game, you never know. Score first and keep this crowd out of the game.
We talk about the crowd a little bit there, Joe, and before this game it was kind of sparse, but as I look down, hordes and hordes of Glenbard West fans coming in, as well as Wheaton Warrenville South fans, and this place is going to be jam-packed for one of the best games in state this weekend. You can talk about the Joliet Catholic Mount Carmel contest the night before, in which Mount Carmel did a nice job there in winning it, but this also one of the big ones. Let's take a look at the starting lineups for both teams. First of all, for the host, I should say the visiting Tigers, we'll see more option style of offense from this year's Wheaton Warrenville South team with Ben Kloss at quarterback. The running backs are Adler, he returns at 207, and Johnson as well, good size, 5'11", 204 junior. The receivers are Sonnenberg and Ryan Martin, both have decent speed, good hands, and they run good routes. On the line, one of the biggest lines in Wheaton Warrenville South history at about 230 pounds a man, with the big guy Anderson at the tackle, 6'1", 298. Pete Economos will be out for this game. He hurt his knee a couple of days ago. Either J.P. Arlo or Rich Thomas, a sophomore, will replace him.
Taking a look at the Glenbard West defense, Javel Knox, Antoine Watkins, Josh Bowler, and Mike Victor, a solid front four. And expect, of course, Bob, those linebackers to back them up, and those will be Tony Cozy, Ryan Mahoney, and Chris Gerweg. That's an excellent set. Coach Jim Covert is very pleased with, especially Cozy. He's all over the field. And then you take a look at their defensive backfield. They're going to be the guys trying to guard, those Wheaton Central wideouts. Those are Chris Melka, Andy Grimm, Greg Janisek, and then Eric Jansen. So it'll be up to them to see if they can maybe cover Ben Kloss's air passes.
No doubt about it. He will be tossing the ball probably once out of every 3 times. That is the general formula that Wheaton Warrenville South likes to have, no matter what style of quarterback, the drop back passer or the option style. It does not matter.
2-1.
Yeah, when we take a look at Glenbard West's offense, the Hilltoppers at the quarterback spot, the senior. There was a battle between Greg Janisek and Bill McBride. McBride won it. He'll run the show in the triple threat offense, power and option running as well as passing. The running backs, Javel Knox, a load at 215 pounds. DJ Adorno has been compared to the great Billy Harris, who graduated last year. Senior Jason Tusher is the wide receiver. As we take a look at the offensive line, a lot of inexperience. The senior Fuco is the center. The 2 guards are Cozy and Hatfield, with Bowler and Cady at the tackle spots. The line's kind of small. They average about 200 pounds per man, with the big guy Bowler at 6 foot 235.
Taking a look at the Wheaton Warrenville South defense, and that's Coach Ron Muhich's pride and joy.
Don't forget about Denny Walker.
Oh yeah, of course, they are the men in charge of that strong Wheaton Warrenville South defense. Dave Brumfield, David Mickelson, Tim Savage, Lance Steffi, and Kyle Rock, and then a good linebacker in Christian Olson and Todd Falstich. There's the DBs, Steve St. Meyer, Kerry Hayden, Mike LaFido, who'll also do a little running back, and Doug McLeod.
And Joe, we talked earlier in our pregame show about this tremendous rivalry between these two teams. There have been a few name changes between the high schools, talking about this year as well, with Wheaton Central changing to Wheaton Warrenville South. But this series dates back to '67, and just to show how close it is, Glenbard West leads the series 22-21, and there have been 10 ties. That's how competitive these two teams are whenever they get together.
Of course, we are not about to see a blowout. That's what it means, 22-21. Both schools are always well prepared. Jim Covert and his troops, John Thorne, and the way he goes about his business, very methodical, analyzes everything, makes sure there are no holes in his defense or his offense in terms of, their execution. It'll be interesting to see, though, that Wheaton Warrenville South offensive line going up against Glenbard West, and a little bit of inexperience on the defensive side, Bob.
And Joe, when we kind of take a look at these two teams, it's really only the first game of the season, obviously, but there is a little bit of a revenge factor coming in for both these teams. On the part of Glenbard West, even though they did beat Wheaton Central last year, 19-7, they're Wheaton Warrenville South this year, of course. You may hear that a few times in this broadcast. So Glenbard West, they are looking for revenge in the regard that Wheaton Warrenville South is a DVC team. And it was a DVC team that ended Glenbard West's awesome season last year. They won their first 10 games, and on this same field against Naperville North, it looked like they were going to win another one. They were on top 14-10. They ended up punting the ball with less than 2 minutes left in the game. The ball rolled to inside the 1 yard line on Naperville North's territory. Naperville North came down all the way behind
Mark Nichols.
Mark Nichols had the hot hand, 99 yards the other way with no timeouts. sent Naperville North to the next round of the playoffs, and it sent Glenbard West with a very hurtful ending to a tremendous season, and that was it for them. And they're thinking about getting some revenge on a DVC team. And of course, Wheaton Warrenville South, we don't have to say anymore. They lost kind of big at home in the opener last year to the same Glenbard West team, 19-7.
That's right, and it'll be interesting to see if the Wheaton Warrenville South defense can, you know, take care of Javel Knox. This guy is, you know, 5'11", 205. He's a big load to handle.
All right, we are just moments away from the opening kickoff. When we come back, we will have the kickoff on Jones Space Link's Game of the Week. It's the opener. Don't go away.
When a loved one's physical or mental health needs are greater than the care and comfort they're receiving, consider Country Care. Since 1976, this private nursing service has offered customized programs designed around your specific needs. Your loved one will receive special care from a highly skilled, dedicated, licensed professional. Country Care, right here in town, on call 24 hours a day. 584-7677. We hope you never need us, but when you do, remember our name, Country Care.
Tired of being out of touch? Mobiltel can help. Mobiltel, the western suburbs leader in cellular communication, has a phone that will fit into everyone's budget. Mobiltel, a Cellular One sales and service center, now has 3 locations. Stop by and see their selection of car audio and security systems. Mobiltel, simply the best.
When you walk through the doors at Young's Appliances, you know you're important. That's because Young's listens and works with you to find a product that fits your budget, space, and personal style. That's something Young's is proud of and takes very seriously. At Young's Appliances, you'll find quality name brand appliances at competitive prices and a professional sales and service staff to back it all up. Young's Appliances, a reliable name in appliances for more than 60 years.
Chuck Swirsky here. I love talking baseball, basketball, football, hockey, bowling, but here to talk about his all-star menu is the famous Augie of Augustino's Deli.
Hi, Chuck.
For a starting lineup, Augie's has great deli sandwiches and trays, Italian beef and sausage sandwiches. Isn't that right, Augie?
That's right, Chuck.
They got fresh hot pizza and mammoth submarine sandwiches stuffed with the best of everything. Isn't that right, Augie?
That's right, Chuck.
Hey, we're out of time. Make sure and stop by Augustino's on the corner of Schmelly and St. Charles Road and Carroll Stream. Right, Augie?
Right, Chuck. Have a bite.
All right, welcome back to Deshaun Field. Moments away from the opening kickoff. Bob Herzig alongside Joe Snydoff on our Jones Space Link Game of the Week, and what an opener we've got for you here today. There you see the Wheaton Warrenville South Tigers in their predominantly white jerseys and the orange and black helmets as well with the tiger paw. And, of course, Glenbard West, the home team, the Hilltoppers, coming off their tremendous 10-1 season last year. The head coach, Jim Covert, they are in their predominantly green jerseys, white trim, the predominantly white helmets, and the green trim as well. There you see the Tigers, some of the starters getting introduced here as we are getting ready for a tremendous ball game.
And Bob, talking a little bit beforehand, and we were sort of maybe a little nervous about the crowd. We were sort of saying, you could see some metal in the stands there, and not anymore, because the crowd is really filtering in, and they are all jacked up. We are jacked up for this contest. It's one that we've been looking at throughout the whole summer, and I don't know about you, but when I woke up this morning, I just felt great that football was back in my life.
No kidding. We are pumped up, always are, for these openers and the rest of them on our Game of the Week. But speaking of which, let's run down our schedule just briefly for you of the Game of the Week after this contest. Next week on September 11th, we will be at St. Charles as Larkin takes on the Saints in an Upstate 8 contest. Then we come to the DVC for the opener. Wheaton North hosting Naperville Central on Friday, September 18th. Then West Chicago, which won their opener, they're at Glenbard South on September 26th. We take you into the month of October. Wheaton Warrenville South, the same Tigers hosting Glenbard South, will be again at Wheaton Warrenville South as they will host Wheaton North for the big Battle of Wheaton on the 16th of October. Wheaton North, we will be there as they host the Glenbard South Raiders. And on the 23rd, a huge Upstate 8 battle, St. Charles at Waubonsee Valley. We close out the regular season with the CCIW College Contest, Division III, North Central at Wheaton College. That should be a great game in the typical battle for the Little Brass Bell. As there you see Glenbard West being introduced. Ryan Mahoney, the first man through, the tight end. Glenbard West, Hilltoppers in their predominantly green jerseys with the white trim and the white helmets. There you see Jim Covert walking through. The head man, this is his 16th season. He has done wonders for this program, Joe. Last year on the 3 levels, freshman, sophomore, varsity through the regular season, their record 27-0. Not too bad.
And already the freshman team, 12-0 victory over the
earlier today,
Warrenville South freshman team, and then the
sophomores 28-7.
28-7. So it's
already
just starting off here on the right foot if you're a Glenbard West Hilltopper fan, but look out for this varsity unit of Wheaton Warrenville South.
They got a little chip on their shoulder. Both teams do. It should be a hard-hitting game. Just kind of recapping the first week's action in the 2 conferences on Friday night to open the season. Wheaton North, a big win over Downers Grove South at home, 29-15. Steve Havard, the sophomore running back, what a game. 290 yards rushing, including an 80-yard touchdown run and a 69-yarder as well. He also caught a TD pass. West Chicago, nice start for Bruce Donash's boys at home. Beat a pretty solid Marmion team, a team that's supposed to be very good this year under Paul Murphy, 27-zip. Naperville North over Thornwood, 28-13. Naperville Central, 24-14 over a pretty good Conan team. Glenbard East started their season with a win over a pretty good Willowbrook Rams team, 7-zip. The only loss in the DVC on the opening night, Glenbard North in an upset. They lost at home to Frem, 27-6.
I'll tell you, you're going to have to really watch out for those Cats. In West Chicago, Coach Bruce Donash giving Coach Paul Murphy the goose.
No doubt about it. We will see the Wildcats on our game of the week at Glenbard South this year. Check out Bruce Donash's boys. In the West Suburban Silver Conference, a conference, of course, which Glenbard West belongs to. Only one game last night. Hinsdale Central, team that is expected to make some noise in this conference this year, according to Jim Covert, picked up a 35-zip over New Trier, and that was an upset. The rest of the conference is playing today. Other area teams in our area, in the Upstate 8, St. Charles beat East Aurora 28-3. That's that same Saints team under Buck Drock we will see next week at home. Waubonsee Valley, boy, they started off in grand fashion. Supposedly 7 Division I candidates, players on that team. 44-16 over Streamwood. That same Streamwood team, Wheaton Warrenville South, will host at home next week.
I think that gets the Wax of the Week award.
Yeah, no, well, I don't know. Did you see what Morris did to Batavia? 53-0 in a Little 7. Ooh, what a rout. Also in the Little 7, Geneva beat Canelan 24-21. Good start for Larry Davis's boys. And in the West Suburban Gold, Paul Parpit's club at Addison Trail, they went down 20-0 to Barrington.
Rough start for the Blazers.
Yeah, we'll have to see how they do. They're expected to finish somewhere in the middle of the pack. But right here, we are just about ready for football.
Let's go.
Yeah, Wheaton Warrenville South will kick it off from our left to our right. And they will defend the west end zone. This field goes west to east. A lot of other ones go north to south. But this one west to east, they will defend the west end zone while Glenbard West gets ready to receive the football. Dave Mickelson will kick it off from the 40-yard line. Both these teams, of course, coming off tremendous seasons. 10-1 for Glenbard West. On the other hand, Wheaton Warrenville South, 11-3.
You got Rob Christensen, DJ Adorno, and Eric Jackson back there to receive the boot.
Here it is, high end over end. The Jones Spaceling football season's underway. And it's taken by Adorno at the 5. Cuts up the middle where he's met there, gets it out to about the 20 for a 15-yard pickup.
Rich Walker.
Yeah, Richard Walker, the 5'10", 190-pound senior, made the tackle. So 1st and 10 for Glenbard West as they start at the 20. And we will check out the triple option offense, the triple attack, led by Bill McBride at quarterback. Running backs in the backfield. Starting out in the pro set, DJ Adorno and Javel Knox. Look out for Knox. Great speed, great size, 215 pounds. Tusher, the receiver, to the far side. Here's the give to Knox, straight up the gut. Maybe got a couple of that. Met by a host of Tigers tacklers that will bring up a 2nd and 8 situation.
We'll see if that offensive line of Foucault, Cozy, Hatfield, Bowler, and Katie, see if they could open up a gap or two early on and We were talking to Coach Jim Covert about establishing a nice running game. He says, well, that's easier said than done.
Yeah, he's going to have to go to all three weapons, the option, the power running, and the throwing, if he wants to move the football against this Tigers defense.
Exactly.
Here it is, Knox again off the left side, gets it up close to the 30. He got about 8 yards on that carry. He may have the first down. It's going to depend on the spot. The nose is resting right on the 30, so they're going to probably have a measurement. Call it an 8-yard gain.
Yeah, we mentioned the power of Knox, and he is able to drag a few guys alongside of him. He ducked out of one tackle, nice high step, and then he was able to get about a good solid 8, as you mentioned.
Going to be third and less than a yard here for the Toppers. You could probably expect the ball to go to Knox. He's a bull. Nope, instead Adorno off the right side. He's got the first down for a couple, and there's the first base. Yeah, the first base of the season. Well, I guess when you put yourself in that situation, it'll happen.
I know, and I think God's word, it hit me first.
But hit me first this year,
yeah.
okay. Call it a couple-yard gain make it 3 for DJ Adorno and a first down. The ball resting at the 34-yard line. Just started in the first quarter. We are coming up to the 10-minute mark left to go. Glenbard West and Wheaton Warrenville South going at it on Jones Space Link's Game of the Week. From the pro set, McBride gives it again off the left side to Knox. Tackle made by Christian Olsen, but he gets his way over the 35 to about the 38-yard line. A pickup of 3 yards. Call it 2nd and 7.
Tim Savage also in on that stop, lowering the shoulder, just keeping Knox at bay.
Though after the spot of the football, they're going to call it a 4-yard gain. 2nd and 6 now with the running backs in the pro set. The receiver is Tusher out to the far side. McBride on the option. He's going to be stopped. Not much yardage there at all. Coming up for the tackle, Joe Reams from the linebacker spot. Reams, a big, strong linebacker, also on the wrestling team, made the tackle there for a loss of yardage.
Yeah, he shot the gap, and he was going after one man and one man only. McBride makes the pitch, well, then he gets burnt, but that's not his responsibility anyway.
It'll be a loss of 1 yard. Watch him shoot the gap here.
McBride fakes it up the gut again, and then takes to the outside, but then he was stopped cold.
Running backs again. Pro set. Receiver out to the near side. Far side, we should say. Tusher. McBride back to pass. Got a man, and it's incomplete. He was out there looking for the tight end in the flat. Matt Brennan, the 6'4", 190-pound junior, and he just threw it out of bounds.
Excellent coverage, Bob, by Steve St. Meyer. He just did a nice job of blanketing his receiver, just not letting him even get past. He wanted to try and hit that sideline, but there wasn't enough room right there. Steve St. Meyer did a great job.
So it's going to bring up a 4th and 7, obviously a punting situation for the Hilltoppers. Mike Shane is standing at about his 25-yard line. He's got a good, strong leg with good hang time, and Glenbard West has to call a timeout because the tight end was late in getting out there, Matt Brennan. So charge a timeout to the Hilltoppers. We are scoreless, 8:46 to go, first quarter. Glenbard West in a punting situation. Wheaton Warrenville South should get the ball for the first time this year.
It can be expected first game, but that's about it for Coach Covert. He will have none of that then after this little mistake.
No doubt about it. Both these teams very disciplined, great head coaches in Jim Covert and John Thorne. They always do a tremendous job with these programs. When you go 27-0 on 3 levels, that's pretty good. And that sophomore team is notorious for winning. They just do not lose at Glenbard West on the sophomore level. All right, so Shane again, standing at his own 25-yard line. Beautiful day for football if you're just joining us. Lake Ellen off in the distance. Very scenic view here on this beautiful field, Deshawn Field in Glen Ellen.
Back to receive the punt, Phil Adler, Doug McLeod, and Steve St. Meyer.
Adler standing at his own 30. Nice high punt. And Adler had some problems judging it in the beginning. Gets it at his own 24. Cuts back to the middle. He's met by a host of tacklers. Great coverage from Glenbard West. He stops at the 27, a pickup of about 3 yards. And in there on the tackle, one of the first ones was Gabe Hatfield, the 6'1", 195-pound senior.
Yeah, Gabe came shooting through. Looked like Adler might have had some room up the middle. He decided not to go towards the sideline, went up the middle, then wanted to cut it back to the sideline. But very solid coverage unit, Glenbard West.
So 1st and 10 from the 29. Ben Kloss running the show, the option-style quarterback. He has running backs in the pro set. That's Adler and Johnson takes the pitch. Check that Adler instead with the pitch. He's met right there, not much yardage. Maybe a yard if that. Javel knocks in there on the tackle. Also stepping up was Eric Jackson from the strong safety spot.
And that's one area, Bob, expect to see a lot of play from is that Glenbard West secondary. Those are the people that are going to have to try and chop Phil Adler down. Melka, Grimm, Janicek, and Jansen.
Pick up a 1 yard for Adler on that carry. 2nd and 9 situation. One thing we can expect from this Tigers team this year, a lot more option style in the offense. We'll see how Kloss runs it. And the give to the first man through Johnson. And he pulls his way up to about close to the 35-yard line. That was a pickup of close to 5 yards.
That was a great individual effort by him.
It looked like he was stopped right at the line.
He was able to wiggle himself out and just almost in a way fall over for 5.
So after that gain, it brings up a 3rd and 5 situation. The ball resting on about the 35-yard line. 2 receivers to the near side, running backs in the pro set. Wants the give. Adler off the left side. And he's going to be stood up there, short of the first down. He may have gotten a couple, but he's going to be about 3 yards short, and Wheaton Warrenville has to punt.
Chris Melka, he was in that pile right there, just trying to throw his body into the mix.
So is Tony Cozy, who also got in there. Let's take a look at it again as Adler goes off the left side, and he is stopped in a hurry as Glenbard West 6-1 pursuing defense gets there.
Here you got the 2 wideouts to the near side, as you mentioned, but that just didn't fool Glenbard West one bit.
So the Tigers getting ready to punt. And the boot, a pretty good one. It's going to be taken at about the 22. That's Melka with it. And he gets around the corner. He's got Green all in front of him. One man to beat, cuts inside on the cloud, and he gets upended at about the 28-yard line. Chris Melka with a great return. And the Hilltoppers have great field position.
Nice job by Glenbard West setting up the wall, Bob, but give credit to Mike LaFido, who just came out of nowhere and just chopped them down, preventing Melka from going in for a possible 6.
You're right, that was LaFido who made the touchdown saving tackle. Watch Prodell's punt. It's kind of a low line driver.
Yeah, not too much hang time.
And once he gets around the corner,
great block right there. They just had nobody on the outside. Now watch LaFido come in behind the gentleman's
right
head.
There, he upends him. Yeah, upends him. But there was a penalty on West, so the football will come back to about the 47-yard line, but still in Wheaton Warrenville South territory.
And they're bringing it way back.
Oh, wow, they really are bringing it back to about the 29-yard line back in Glenbard West territory. I believe the call was an illegal block. So that really hurts because that was some big-time field position for the Hilltoppers. Big break there for the Tigers.
I think that illegal block is what...
Oh, boy, they are really moving
We
it back.
called a pretty good block. We took a look at the replay, and yes, it was iffy in terms of that block, but it looked pretty sound. It looked like he got him in the back. I don't think he saw any numbers in the back.
My gosh, what a big difference this penalty makes. It is now at the 14-yard line in Glenbard West territory when Melka brought it all the way to the 28. Yeah, it brought it all the way to the 28 in Wheaton Warrenville territory. So big break there for the Tigers. So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 14-yard line for the Toppers. Bill McBride again running the show at the quarterback spot. 1st and 10. Pitch. And not much yardage there for DJ Adorno. Maybe back to the line of scrimmage, if that. Out there on the tackle, Steve St. Meyer from the cornerback spot for the Tigers. And they're going to say he maybe lost a few feet, so no gain there. 2nd and 10.
I'll tell you, Bob, it was an excellent job of stringing it out by the Wheaton Warrenville South defense. Coach Ron Muhich, a big smile on the sidelines.
Coming up to about the 5-minute mark left to go in the first quarter. We are scoreless here in this battle between Glenbard West and Wheaton Warrenville South. And here's the give, a quick give up the middle to Javel Knox, and nothing there at all. He probably gained maybe a couple, if that. Christian Olson on the tackle. Call it a 2-yard gain. 3rd and 8 situation now.
This time Covert decides to go with the fake pitch, and up the middle, nothing doing. Tigers staying at home on the road.
Jason Tusher, the receiver, to the near side. Running backs again in the pro set. McBride trying to get that triple. There's the fumble, it's loose, and it looked like McBride jumped back on top of it. Yep, West has recovered it, so they will punt. Almost a big mistake there. That is one of the things we also need to mention, that a lot of times turnovers, most of the time, turnovers have been the difference in these games between these two squads. Last year it was the Tigers committing the turnovers, and the Hilltoppers very lucky to get away with one there.
You're right, turnovers and special teams, the two aspects of the game Coach John Thorne really harped on.
Oh yeah, the special teams almost played a role right there without that penalty. So it's going to be 4th and 8 right now. The football resting at the 15-yard line, and Shane standing at his own 4. Going to be good position.
Whoa.
Oh, bad snap. Shane's got some problems. He gets it off nicely, and a fair catch made at the 30-yard line.
What a play!
Yeah, the fair catch made by Doug McLeod. I got to imagine John Thorne not happy about that, because McLeod had some running room in front of him, because everybody was like a fire drill back there after the bad snap. And that's, I believe that was Mike Pratt that was snapping the football. We did not see the number, but Coach Jim Covert tells us that Pratt is the snapper. And a big break there. We talked about turnovers, not necessarily a turnover, but there's the special teams playing a role. So great field position. 1st down at the 35 in West territory. Kloss looking to throw, being rushed heavily, and he's going to be pulled down for the sack. In there for the sack was Ryan Mahoney from the linebacker spot, and a big loss there.
He really took Kloss for a little ride.
10-yard loss. 2nd and 20.
Ben just didn't
I thought he was going to get away.
Yeah, he sort of underestimated Mahoney's speed, thought he could just shake him off with a little hand, but no, you cannot do that. And Kloss just gets wrong.
Yeah.
A slam is right.
That looked like a world wrestling move right there. The Federation would be awfully happy about that one. So 2nd and 20. Football resting now at the 45. Running backs pro set, 2 receivers near side. And here's Adler, and he's cut down after about a 2-3 yard gain. Looked like one of the first men in there was Josh Bowler from the defensive tackle spot. So let's call it a 3-yard gain, or 2 yards after the spot. It's actually halfway in between, but let's call it 3rd and 18. Definitely a passing situation for the Tigers. We are scoreless. The late stages of the first quarter, under 2.5 minutes left. The Tigers have receivers to the near and far sides. That's Ken Sonnenberg to the near.
You might be looking for Kenny, Bob, right here. Oh,
There's,
screen.
Yeah, it's a screen. It's caught. And it's first down yardage. He may go for the touchdown. Into the end zone for the touchdown is Ryan Martin.
Oh, that was gorgeous. They suckered him in, Bob.
Everybody coming in for Glenbard West. They throw the screen to Martin. And it goes for the touchdown. Tigers up 6-zip.
Good, the Hilltoppers were coming. And a beautiful job by Ben Kloss backing up in the pocket, finding Ryan Martin over the middle, and then some excellent key blocks to spring Martin down the sidelines. The Tigers, they get on the board first. Big key, big key, big key.
6-0 Tigers. Boy, everybody in there for West.
Here's that play again.
They duped them.
Quick little hitter over the middle. Let's pick up the key block. It almost looked like Adler threw his body in front.
Let's take a look at that one again, as the extra point is good. That makes it 7-0 Tigers. That was a big play. Let's take a look at it one more time.
Here comes the block. It's coming up right around there.
42 yards. There goes Martin into the end zone, untouched, basically.
Very important for Wheaton Warrenville South to get on the board first, as we mentioned. Take this crowd a little bit out of the game. They're all fired up. Everybody's fired up here. And execution on the 3rd and long should never be given up. But they brought everybody, and the sidelines were clear.
Checking that last touchdown, it was a 43-yarder instead of 42. Either way, it's 6 points, make it 7 with the extra point. 7-zip Tigers.
Here's Mickelson to move. Good high end-over-end kick. Take it over, Bob.
It's taken at the 5-yard line. The Hilltoppers, nice blocking up there. Up over the 30-yard line. Nice job of Christensen doing a great job of getting it zigzagging back and forth. He's one of those running backs. 25-yard kickoff return for Christensen, one of those running backs that Coach Jim Cover talked about. He's got so many of them, very talented.
I think we should mention a little bit, there are some injuries on both sides of the ball, especially for Glenbard West. Rafael Talentino, he's out.
Not only that, Wheaton Warrenville has lost Ken Killian for the season.
Yes.
Bobby Nelson is hurting with the knee. He'll miss a few games. Here's McBride on the keeper. And there's a loose football again, and Wheaton Warrenville South has it. McBride fumbled the football, and the Tigers have come up with it at the 31-yard line.
Hey, let's face it, the Hilltoppers are going to have to hang on to it because Wheaton Warrenville South's putting the helmet on the ball.
That is the second fumble by the Hilltoppers. Fortunately for them, they recovered the other one, but not this time. And it's great field position for the Tigers, starting off at the 31, 1st and 10. They've got a 7-0 lead with less than 1:20 left to go in the first quarter.
That just didn't look good. I mean, it was just a safe play right there, and a fumble results.
Martin to the near side. He's the one who caught the 43-yard touchdown pass on the screen. He's to the near. They have a receiver, Kenny Sonnenberg, to the far side. And a little mix-up in there. But there's a fumble, but it's after the whistle. And it is down at the 30-yard line. It looked like Kloss picked up maybe a yard. Looked like there was a little confusion there. So call it a 1-yard gain. 2nd and 9 right now. The football resting at about the 30-yard line in Glenbard West territory. Under 1 minute to go, first quarter. So far, only scoring a 43-yard touchdown pass from Ben Kloss to Ryan Martin on the screen that was executed to perfection by the Tigers. They're up 7-0. Two receivers to the near side, running backs in the pro set for the Tigers. 6-1 defense from Glenbard West. Here's Kloss. And there's a fumble. And Adler comes up with it. He better hold on, and he's taken down for a big loss at the 46-yard line. A loss of 16 yards, it looked like on the exchange, Joe, between Kloss and maybe Johnson, that the ball just squirted loose.
Certainly did. Very uncharacteristic right there of Ben Kloss and of Phil Adler. I know they've gone over that a few times. Coach Thorne mentioned that he's going to have to work with the backs.
And that's it for the first quarter. 7-0 Tigers on top. When we come back, second quarter action on Jones Space Link's Game of the Week.
When you walk through the doors at Young's Appliances, you know you're important. That's because Young's listens and works with you to find a product that fits your budget, space, and personal style. That's something Young's is proud of and takes very seriously. At Young's Appliances, you'll find quality name brand appliances at competitive prices and a professional sales and service staff to back it all up. Young's Appliances, a reliable name in appliances for more than 60 years.
Tired of being out of touch? Mobiltel can help. Mobiltel, the Western Suburbs leader in cellular communication, has a phone that will fit into everyone's budget. Mobiltel, a Cellular One sales and service center, now has 3 locations. Stop by and see their selection of car audio and security systems. Mobiltel, simply the best.
All right, welcome back. Bob Urzick alongside Joe Snydoff on our Jones Space Link Game of the Week. We've had a very entertaining first quarter, to say the least. And the Tigers on top 7-0 thanks to a 43-yard touchdown pass from Ben Kloss to Ryan Martin. The Tigers again threatening. They have gone backward, though, ever since they recovered a fumble from Bill McBride deep at about the 30-yard line in Glenbard West territory.
Offsides.
Yep, looked like maybe Glenbard West stepped over the neutral zone. It was a 3rd and 25 situation. They may move it up a few yards here. Let's wait for the preliminary signal, though. Yep, they are moving it up. It'll be offsides on West.
I'll tell you, I watching the high school game for many years now, you look at some of these linemen, and you take a look at 73 on Wheaton Warrenville Stout, Stevie Anderson, 6'2", 300 pounds.
100 pounds. He's 60 pounds heavier than any other lineman Wheaton Warrenville South has ever had, according to John Thorne. Kloss on the play action. He's in trouble, and he's going to be sacked. Javel Knox in there along with Antoine Watkins. A loss of about a couple of yards. It looked like Kloss put the ball down a little early, and that just comes from inexperience. But Wheaton Warrenville South will have to punt.
Yeah, that pocket was really getting crushed by a very furious Hilltoppers rush, and I think that was his only choice.
Tim Prodell standing at his own 43-yard line. And Eric Jackson on his own 10, getting ready. High snap. Nice job by Prodell to get it off.
Good boot. Look at this.
Look at that bounce. Oh, it goes out of bounds at about the 3-yard line. Tremendous punt. That was about a 48-yarder, I believe, in that vicinity. Got a great bounce for Wheaton Warrenville.
Tell you also another good thing that Timmy Prodell stands 6'5", because that was a high snap.
Yeah, Prodell got up there. So, Glenbard West really backed up against their own end zone. Early stages of the second quarter, 7-0. Wheaton Warrenville South on top of Glenbard West. The Tigers blew a great opportunity to get some more points on the board after recovering a Bill McBride fumble at Glenbard West 30, but they went backward from there with a fumble, and that really hurt them. But Glenbard West has a long way to go for 6. Here's McBride barking the signals. He's going to throw it. He's in trouble. He gets around the corner, though, and he's barreled out of bounds at about the 11. Coming up to make the hit from the safety spot, Mike LaFido. But a nice pickup for Bill McBride. Gets it out over the 10.
Mike LaFido.
Just over the 10-yard line. A pickup of about 6. Call it 2nd and 4.
Boy, that LaFido really gets to that sideline in a hurry, doesn't he?
Yeah, he was being chased. He was in trouble, but he made the turn. He's got some pretty good speed. This whole Glenbard West team this year has better speed than last year's 10-1 squad.
Little smaller, however.
A lot of guys we talked to felt that there was more unity on this team. Javel Knox saying that there are 4 300-plus pound bench pressers, if you can get all that in one sentence, on the defensive line. So he says this team probably is stronger, quicker, and has better unity than last year's 10-1 squad. If that's true, look out for the Toppers. Here's Adorno off the left side, gets it up close to about the 15. He's got a first down. One of the first ones in there on the tackle for Wheaton Warrenville was Joe Reams.
Number 89 or 99, Carl Buck.
Football at the 15-yard line, 1st and 10. That's another first down for Glenbard West. That is their second of the afternoon. Toppers having some problems moving the football against this 5-2 defense of Wheaton Warrenville's. Here's Antoine Watkins just into the game off the left side. Maybe got 3. Let's call it.
3 yards in the play, brings up a
2nd and 7 situation now. Antoine Watkins also plays 2 ways. They've got 4 guys starting going 2 ways on this Glenbard West team, and now Antoine Watkins is just in there. He also is one of the defensive linemen on this team. Only 2 starters back from that Glenbard West team last year. One of them Antoine Watkins, the other Javel Knox. 6 starters back for Wheaton Warrenville South.
Right now the Hilltoppers playing a little power football, Bob, trying to get out of their own end.
2nd and 7. McBride back to pass. Got a man open, it's complete. And that's Mahoney at about over the 20, maybe to the 21-yard line. And that's going to be a pickup of about 3, maybe 4 yards. It's going to bring up a 3rd and about 4 situation.
Mahoney stands pretty tall as well.
They've got some big tight ends.
6'2", 200 pounds.
And then when you throw in Matt Brennan at 6'4", 190, got some height there.
Yes, you do.
The receiver to the near side is Jason Tusher. Double tight end offense for Glenbard West. Here's McBride again, back to pass. Looking, he's got a man, it's complete, and that's DJ Adorno out of the backfield. He's got a first down. Pickup of about 5 or 6, and West moves the sticks again.
Nice job by the Hilltoppers short passing game. Just getting a few nice ones in there, being sure of their routes, and completing them real nice. Billy McBride.
So 1st and 10 from the 27 for the Toppers. You can't tell, it's a gorgeous day here at Deshaun Field with the very scenic Lake Ellen in the background. This has got to be one of the prettiest football fields with its scenery, the beautiful trees, the town, and everything, the lake in the background that I have ever seen on a high school level.
Without question.
Running backs, pro set. Tusher to the near side, the wide receiver. Here's the give. Knox. Not much there at all.
Oh.
Big hit from Christian Olsen. It was Adorno actually with the football, and he got maybe a yard. They're going to say actually he lost a yard after the spot of the football.
Double fours saying hello.
No, we were right the first time. 1 yard pickup, 2nd and 9 as Antoine Watkins checks out of the game for the Toppers. Javel Knox back in, getting a little bit of a blow. It's a kind of a hot and humid day today. Temperatures expected in the mid-80s. And a couple of years ago on this same field between these same two teams, it was in the 90s, and a lot of guys getting dehydrated that day. Today it's not as bad, but it is pretty bad out there. Here's Adorno. He's met right there. No yardage. That was Joe Reams from the linebacker spot coming up for the stick, along with Steve St. Meyer from the cornerback spot. And it goes maybe as a gain of a few inches, if that.
Excellent Tiger twosome. Reams and St. Meyer.
2nd and 8 now. The situation just over 8 minutes to go, first half. 7-0 Tigers on top with 2:03 left to go in the first quarter. Ben Kloss hit Ryan Martin with a 43-yard touchdown pass off the screen, and that is the difference right now on this one.
Big play right here.
3rd and 8, passing situation. McBride back to pass. He's got some time, and he's got a man. Adorno in a great grab. And he's going to be out of bounds at about the 37, but that's good enough for a first down. That was a pickup of about 12 or 13 yards. And Adorno made a nice grab going up for it. Maybe we could take a look at that one again, but did a nice job to stay in bounds, make the catch after the hit as well.
Give credit, Bob, to the Glenbard West offensive line in terms of pass protection. Nobody touching Bill McBride. There he shoots off from the linebacker. Beautiful touch pattern. He was stuck and he held on to the football.
Threw that ball over Olsen. Olsen going up as high as he could go. The linebacker could not tip it. Here's Knox, barreling his way over the right side, over the 40-yard line to about the 42. It's going to be a pickup of about 3, maybe 4. Let's call it about a 2nd and 6 situation. Javel Knox, he's a horse.
Yeah, I was just going to say a workhorse. He's really been carrying the ball. Got 7 carries already.
Ball at the 46 in Glenbard West territory. Here's the give. Great play. No yardage there for Adorno. Dave Mickelson coming up with the stick from the defensive line spot. Loss of 2 yards. 3rd and 8.
Excellent penetration by some of those defensive people up front for Wheaton Warrenville South.
Mickelson not fooled at all by the draw play. Here's a tough situation for Glenbard West. 3rd and 8. Bill McBride. Back to pass. LaVito on the blitz. And it is incomplete, out of bounds. The catch was made out there by Tusher we should say, but he could not keep his feet in bounds, so West has to punt it.
39 yards rushing for Glenbard West, unofficially up to this point. But they've been having to play a little bit of that power game, Bob. When you're so deep pinned back, you can't really let it fly, you know? McBride has to be careful. Colbert has to be careful. Just going to have to go over left side, right side, Knox and Watkins and Adorno.
South sent Mike LaFido on that blitz. Could not get in there. He was picked up nicely. But now here's Mike Shane standing at his own 32. Better snap this time. And it's Adler back there. Makes the grab at about his 18-yard line. Gets around the corner. Got some yardage. Being knocked out of bounds right at the midfield marker. A pickup of about 23 yards on that return. Great speed by Adler getting around the right side. Not sure, it might have been Andy Graham who had a shot at him early on. Maybe we could take a look at it again if we have that replay. But he just ripped around the corner.
Last year, in terms of big plays, Wheaton Central had Adam Clements. This year they have Phil Adler, and we're going to have to give him a nickname, maybe the Locomotive.
And who'll ever forget that game Adler had against Joliet Catholic in the playoffs. And not much yardage there. Still alive and spinning, though. Take a look at that one punt that we just talked about. Adler getting around the corner here. Here's Shane's punt. Not a lot of hang time. Pretty much outkicked his coverage there.
Watch him get on that outside track.
It was number 23 for Glenbard West, Grimm, that he went right around.
Boy.
And got the football into Glenbard West territory. A 1-yard pickup on that last run. Call it 2nd and 9 at the 49 in Glenbard West territory. Just a little bit over 5 minutes left to go in the first half. 7-zip Tigers. Here's Adler cutting inside. He's got some room up the middle. Struggles his way up to about the 42-yard line. Looks like about a pickup of maybe 6 yards. Eric Jackson on the tackle. Going to bring up a 3rd and short situation. 3rd and about 3 yards for Wheaton Warrenville.
Tell you, Adler does a nice job of picking his holes. There he received a low pitch from Kloss. Decided that the outside was getting filled up, so he might as well cut it in. Not too many people, and he could really shut off those leg tackles, can't he, Bob?
No doubt about it. He is so strong at close to 210 pounds. He's a solid wrestler on that Tigers wrestling team.
That's
markers down. There's a first down for Adler, but it's going to come back. Breaks a tackle, but it's going to go for naught as Greg Janicek knocks him out of bounds. But there was some motion. Got to be a little frustration on that Glenbard West defense as the Tigers ripping through there, but it's going to be all for naught. It's coming back.
Phil was a little anxious on that play. Knows it's going to him. Knows that hole's going to open up real well. It did. I think they're sort of mad at themselves for almost in a way wasting that kind of play, because that play really worked and Adler gained some serious yardage right there.
Penalties have hurt both teams early on in the going here so far. Glenbard West on the one punt return, they got it deep into Tigers territory. That came back with an illegal block, and now here some illegal motions bringing back a tremendous run by Adler. So it's going to bring up about a 3rd and 8 situation. Ball resting at Glenbard West 48 right now. About 4:20 to go, first half, 7-0, Tigers on top. They've got the football. This is a passing situation. 2 receivers to the near side, running backs pro set. Kloss on a roll. He's got a man. It's complete at the 33.
Beautiful.
Coming up to make the catch is Kenny Sonnenberg, a pickup of close to 15 yards. And Sonnenberg did a little dance on the sideline to keep the feet in bounds. First down, Tigers.
Oh, that was a beautiful pass by Kloss on the run. Coach John Thorne mentioning he's got a nice touch that way. And then Sonnenberg using the tippy toes, keeping away from the chuck, and hauling it in.
Coach Thorne described Sonnenberg as the best receiver on the JV team last year. You saw it there. Why? Got the feed inbounds nicely from a perfect pass.
We have a timeout, I think.
Believe so. The Hilltoppers have already called one timeout for this half. This time it's on the South Tigers. So our score, 4:06 to go. 7-0 Tigers. Wheaton Warrenville has looked good. The Hilltoppers, on the other hand, have struggled on the offensive side of the football, and they've turned the ball over once, fumbled twice total on this game. There was also a fumble on Wheaton Warrenville's side. 4:06 to go. Great day for football. We got a great ball game here. Tremendous crowd on hand, both on Wheaton-Warrenville side. They got the Tiger Power sign out. And of course on the Glenbard West side, a nice crowd on hand. The band is here, of course, the cheerleaders. And there was a sign up earlier today. It said, "We love our hitters," referring to Glenbard West hitters. There you see Lake Ellen. Gorgeous. The band getting ready for the halftime festivities, as that's only a little bit more than 4 minutes away. 7-0 our score. South on top of West.
Seems like up to this point, though, Glenbard West taking a little more of the hitch than dishing him out.
4 guys going 2 ways. That may play a role later on. Here's Adler, straight up the middle. Gets up close to about the 30-yard line. It was a pickup of maybe 3 yards. Let's call it a 2nd and 7 situation. Tigers threatening here. We were watching their kicker earlier today, Doug McLeod. He was hitting some 42-yarders, so they will be in his area very shortly if they can push it up 5 to 10 more yards.
That's good range.
Of course, the wind right now is blowing into his face. He was kicking with the wind earlier in practice. Here's Adler again, avoids one tackler, cuts back inside for a few yards. It was Antoine Watkins who strung him out, but he put the brakes on, screeched back to the middle, and picked up a few.
Talk about disrupting a play. How is Antoine Watkins just coming in there one-on-one with Phil Adler? And 32 in white has the presence of mind to just cut it back in and then just lower the shoulder and smash for about 4.
There was a pickup of about 3 or 4 yards. Now, what we got to remember here with Wheaton Central, I should say Wheaton-Warrenville South, excuse me, their line averaging close to 230 pounds a man, and you've got the big guy at 300 pounds for Steve Anderson. We've got a timeout on the field, by the way, Wheaton-Warrenville again. But they have got a huge line. On the other hand, the Hilltoppers defensive line, not the largest. And right now, they are overpowering the Toppers a little bit. 3:01 left to go in the first half as the Tigers take their second time out of the half. Glenbard West has taken 1.
That is an excellent offensive line for Wheaton-Warrenville South. Charles Wiggins and Justin Frederick, the 2 guards. Chris Kirby and Steve Anderson. And then Pete Economos, he is in the center, Bob.
That's right.
It's been either Rich Thomas or...
I think Rich Thomas is out there.
Yeah.
The sophomore. The only sophomore on this varsity squad for the Tigers, and that's Rich Thomas. And he is playing at the center spot.
That's tough to do.
Oh, man. Here's the opener against a super solid Glenbard West team.
You're the center.
You're the sophomore. Here you go. Throw him in. Almost a similar situation to what Jerry Fontenot will be facing for the Bears after the Bears traded Jay Hilgenberg. Except Fontenot's got a good 3-4 years experience when they open up in their opener against the Lions.
But then again, Fontenot has a man by the name of Jerry Ball hovering over him.
A little bit of difference. All right, we've got a 3rd and 4 situation facing the Tigers. Football resting at about the 26-yard line in Glenbard West territory. It's Adler, no surprise. Puts the shoulder down, gets inside the 25, close to the 23.
Just a tad short.
And it will be short, so here, one of the first big decisions of the year for John Thorne and the coaching staff. Do you go for the first down?
I think it's a yes.
Mike Victor on the tackle there for Glenbard West. Ball right now at the 24. And they have to get, less than a yard for the first down, and they are going for it, definitely. They would have to be kicking into a wind that looks like it's between 5 and 10 miles per hour. And it would be a 41-yarder, so they are definitely going for it.
The Hilltoppers need backfield penetration.
Johnson and Adler in the backfield for the Tigers. It's Adler. He's got the first down and more. Still on his feet, and he struggles, bulldogging his way down to about the 16. And a pickup of 8 yards for Adler.
Let's face it, he just mowed over Chris Melka, and if he would have been able to get a leg loose, it would have been 6.
He almost spinned his way into the end zone, lost his balance at the last second, but a nice pickup. Look at the inside blocking.
He just took it all outside. They just smashed him inside.
Broke Janisek's tackle as well. So it's 1st and 10 from the 16-yard line. 1:45 and counting to go. First half, 7-0 Tigers. They are threatening for more.
Look at this formation.
Yeah, full house backfield. They've added Christian Olsen there. You think Adler's getting it? No, he's not. Oh, runs right into Javel Knox. Javel Knox penetrated and sacks Ben Kloss. Football at about the 23, a loss of 7 yards. Ooh,
Glenbard West. They respond.
Oh, you can hear the hit up here. Someone forgot about Javel Knox. That's a big mistake.
Telling Wheaton Warrenville South you could take that play and whatever.
Take it home for their opener against Streamwood next week. 2nd and 17, about a minute to go, first half. Kloss has got some time. Penalty marker down, he completes it, but that could be holding. It's against the Tigers. Kenny Sonnenberg made the catch. The tackle by Andy Grimm, but it is coming back. The penalty holding is the indication on the Tigers. That hurts.
Yeah, they're going to have to air it out a little bit more, Bob. They're going to get on the board here before the half.
We've seen the mistakes, but hey, what do you expect? This is the first game of the year. Both teams playing fairly well. You got to expect some mistakes. It's natural. High school football. And this is the first game of the year. You may see a few more of those mistakes. So the football right now at about the 34, 33-yard line. 2nd and 27 situation. Clock running under 45 seconds to go, first half. Kloss again, they're looking for the screen. Martin cannot make the catch. Watching Martin, he just slides his way inconspicuously as possible to the middle. And that time there were about 3-4 Hilltoppers around him. He probably wouldn't have gone very far even if he made the catch.
That's dangerous too, throwing it into a pack like that.
Tip a ball up in the air and it's an INT.
You're right, Martin, all he does, Bob, is just slide across. Oh, you got to try that play again.
Kloss really did not do a good job of hiding that one. You could see that very easily. Here's the draw to Adler's got a wide open hole in the middle. Cuts inside, he's going to go for a touchdown!
What a move by Adler, incredible deep.
28 yards for the touchdown.
Just a shift of the shoulder pads, and then he was in for 6. That's all it was, just a little head fake. Bill Adler up the gut on the draw.
33-yard score for Adler. Wow, what a big play. Been the big plays that have killed the Toppers. Here's McLeod for the extra point. Oh, that is a killer right before the half. Kick is up and it is good. 14-0 Tigers with just 27 seconds left to go in the first half. We got to look at this one again. Boy, Adler showed some great juke ability in the open field. He had a man coming onto him head on and he made the move.
That's what it was.
Oh, tremendous play by Adler.
It's just a shift of the shoulders. That's all it was.
Take a look at it one more time.
They disguised the draw beautifully.
Look at that, right through a pack of Hilltoppers.
Here it is, right there.
See you later. And Gerwig was left chasing in the footsteps of Adler. Showed some great speed for a man that size as Chris Gerwig could not catch him. Oh, what a killer that is at the end of the half. A 2nd or 3rd and long situation for the Tigers. And they pull it off.
I believe he might have put the move on Greg Janicek. That's who the move could have been put on. It was just an excellent move, and it freed him to go right up the middle.
So Dave Mickelson getting ready to kick it off from his own 40-yard line. Toppers got to be down, a little depleted. Adorno makes the grab at about his own 7, going right up the middle. And he gets it up over the 30-yard line. Hit by a few tacklers. The first man in there, Lance Steppe. So the Hilltoppers have 22 seconds to see if they can do anything offensively. They've got to go 69 yards, though. 14-0 our score, Tigers. We've got a packed house on hand watching this one. Obviously a lot of interest when you have the 4th-ranked team in the area, and Wheaton Warrenville and the 7th-ranked team in Glenbard West going at it in this great rivalry that spans almost 70 years. Here's McBride. Over the middle. He's got Adorno. And Lafito puts the head down, makes the tackle. Pick up about 7 or 8 yards, and that ends the first half. And a great half for the Wheaton Warrenville South Tigers in their first game under their new school. They've got a 14-0 lead at the half. When we come back, we'll recap it all on Jones Space Link's Game of the Week. Don't go away.
The WWS program for today includes in-concert show, opener Christmas Eve.
Chuck Swirsky here. I love talking baseball, basketball, football, hockey, bowling, but here to talk about his all-star menu is the famous Augie of Augustino's Deli.
Hi, Chuck.
For a starting lineup, Augie's has great deli sandwiches and trays, Italian beef and sausage sandwiches. Isn't that right, Augie?
That's right, Chuck.
They got fresh hot pizza and mammoth submarine sandwiches stuffed with the best of everything. Isn't that right, Augie?
That's right, Chuck.
Hey, we're out of time. Make sure and stop by Augustino's on the corner of Schmelly and St. Charles Road and Carroll Stream. Right, Augie?
Right, Chuck. Have a bite.
When a loved one's physical or mental health needs are greater than the care and comfort they're receiving, consider Country Care. Since 1976, this private nursing service has offered customized programs designed around your specific needs. Your loved one will receive special care from a highly skilled, dedicated, licensed professional. Country Care, right here in town, on call 24 hours a day. 584-7677. We hope you never need us, but when you do, remember our name, Country Care.
If you gotta send a package and it's gotta get there quick, it's pack and send. Pack and send. If you're packing up and moving and you wanna do it slick, it's pack and send. Pack and send. For the boxes and the shipping, any number, any size, they can handle all your packing. You just won't believe your eyes. It's pack and send. 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 520 Rice Road, Schaumburg. Call 529-PACK and send. 529-PACK and send.
That's 529-PACK.
Hey, that's Tom Wall of the Bears.
Hey, Waddle, think fast.
Hey, wait a minute. You can always catch a great deal at Lebo's.
Run, walk, or waddle to the Lebo's nearest you.
All right, welcome back. It's halftime here at beautiful Dushan Field in Glen Ellen, where our score, Wheaton Warrenville South, the visitors, the Tigers, on top 14-0 here. We are at the half. Glenbard West having a few problems here in their home opener, but let's take a look at how the scoring happened in the first quarter. That's when it started for the Tigers. A great play. A nice pass, a screen, a 43-yarder from Ben Kloss to Ryan Martin. It was a short little 5-yard dump pass. Martin took it the rest of the way. That happened with 2:03 left to go in the first quarter. Doug McLeod's extra point was good. That made it 7-zip Tigers. Then very late in the second quarter, right before the half, 27 seconds left, a 33-yard touchdown run from Phil Adler. Straight up the gut, he avoided a few tacklers, took it into the end zone on a second or third and long situation. McLeod's extra point was good as well, and that made it 14-0 at this point. That's where we stand at the half. Only one turnover in the first half, that belonging to quarterback Bill McBride on a fumble. It did not turn into any points for Wheaton Warrenville South. There were actually 2 fumbles for Glenbard West, 1 fumble for Wheaton Warrenville South. Joe, you've got some of the stats here from the first half.
That's right. Ben Kloss, nice job. 2 for 4. They don't want to throw the ball that much anyway, so 58 yards for Ben Kloss. Of course, that big one by Ryan Martin. Then you take a look at the running backs. You got Phil Adler, 9 carries for 62 yards. James Johnson, 2 carries for 5 yards. And Ben Kloss was sacked numerous times. A few times he had to tuck it away and he got thrown for a loss. So altogether you have about 29 yards in terms of rushing, counting the sacks. Total of 87 yards for Wheaton Warrenville South. Then you look on the other side, you got Bill McBride. He was 4 for 7 for 31 yards. They've really done a nice job of keeping Javel Knox in in range. He's got 6 carries for 22 yards. He hasn't been able to bust anything. Watkins only had the 1 carry for 3 yards. DJ Adorno, 4 carries for only 6. Then you have Rob Christensen, he didn't get any carries. McBride had 3 carries for 4. That totals up 22 yards and 32-31. It's 63 total yards for Glenbard West.
So basically it's been the Hilltoppers offense that just has not been able to get untracked against this Wheaton-Warrenville South defense. And when we talked with John Thorne earlier in the week, Joe, as you remember, he mentioned that, hey, this year Coach Denny Walker, Coach Ron Muhich have had extra time to work with the defense, and he was thinking that the defense would really shine here in the first game, and they really have in the first half.
Yes, they have. And also give credit to the special teams for Wheaton Central. That big kick by Prodell out at the 3-yard line right there, and that's been keeping Glenbard West fans sort of quiet. They've been pinned in their own, part of the field, and Glenbard West has been able to play power football. They didn't want to take any risk of an interception or a tip ball, so that's why Glenbard West isn't really shining in terms on the offensive part of the board.
That's why the Hilltoppers haven't really done much. The field position hasn't been good. The only time that they had the great field position was on that excellent punt return by Melka. Got it deep into Wheaton-Warrenville territory. Turned out it had to go all the way back because of a penalty. There have been a few penalties that have hurt each of the teams here in the first game of the season, but that's expected.
But so if you want to wrap it up, it's been poor field position for Glenbard West. A couple big plays for Wheaton-Warrenville South. 14-zip.
Along with pretty good field position for the Tigers. So there you have it, our score at the half. Wheaton-Warrenville South on top 14-zip. They will get the football starting the second half, and that's coming in just a few moments right here on Jones Space Link's Game of the Week. Don't go away.
A child's dream.
When I grow up, I'm going to shop at Small Expressions. They have wearable, comfortable, yet fashionable clothing all year round, from size 0 to size 7. My friends and I will have lots of fun wearing clothes from Small Expressions. Show 'em, Rachel. Show 'em, Mike. Show 'em, Annie Lou. On your bike. Check out Ryan. He's out of sight. Ah.
A child's dream. Small Expressions, located in the 5th Avenue Station, Naperville.
Searching for an enjoyable meal with high-quality service? Then stop in at Seven Dwarfs Restaurant in Wheaton. Dine on a variety of delicious home-cooked breakfast, lunch, or dinner entrees from Seven Dwarfs' extensive menu. Sam and his friendly staff have been serving up homemade soups and entrees with a smile since 1979. That's Seven Dwarfs Family Restaurant, located on the corner of Roosevelt Road and President Street in Wheaton. Open weekdays from 6 a.m. until 11 p.m. and until midnight on weekends.
When a loved one's physical or mental health needs are greater than the care and comfort they're receiving, consider Country Care. Since 1976, this private nursing service has offered customized programs designed around your specific needs. Your loved one will receive special care from a highly skilled, dedicated, licensed professional. Country Care, right here in town, on call 24 hours a day. 584-7677. We hope you never need us, but when you do, remember our name, Country Care.
Tired of being out of touch? Mobiltel can help. Mobiltel, the western suburbs leader in cellular communication, has a phone that will fit into everyone's budget. Mobiltel, a Cellular One sales and service center, now has 3 locations. Stop by and see their selection of car audio and security systems. Mobiltel, simply the best.
Back at Deshaun Field, both teams are back on the field. There you see Glenbard West, and Ghost Nightoff, you can bet that Jim Covert and his assistants were burning the ears a little bit there in the halftime break.
Yeah, they were a little sloppy in terms of some of their execution. The holes were not opening up versus a very good Wheaton-Warrenville South defensive front, and that's been the case. They are going to have to get Javel Knox loose. They're going to have to get DJ Adorno on the outside so that they could free up a little bit of that passing. They have not been able to put together, as we mentioned in our keys, a sustained, balanced attack. They have been only able to maybe connect on a pass or two, and they have not been able to really consistently pound it out on the ground for large yardage.
And a lot of that credit's got to go for the Wheaton-Warrenville defense, and of course the coaches of that D, Ron Muhich, along with Denny Walker. There you see the Tigers. They're pumped up 14-0 as We are just moments away from third quarter action. From this point on, both teams have tough schedules ahead of them. Jim Covert knows that for Glenbard West. His Hilltoppers from this point on, they will have a tough time next week. They travel to Willowbrook, a Willowbrook team that lost to Glenbard East in the opener 7-0. And then they start their conference season with a couple of home games with Downers Grove North on the 19th and then Lyons Township on the 26th. And then they go on the road to Hinsdale Central on the 3rd of August, and they will be tested in those first 3 games. Those 3 teams all expected to contend for this conference title in the West Suburban Silver along with Glenbard West. On the other hand, for Wheaton Warrenville South, after this game here, this tough one, they open their home schedule on the 11th of September against Streamwood. And Dave Smiley's teams are always very good, although they did not look that good in the opener as they were just pelted by Waubonsee Valley 44-16. But then Wheaton Warrenville, Coach John Thorne and the Tigers hit the road on the 18th of September to West Chicago, an improved West Chicago team under Bruce Donash, a team that got wiped out last year by Marmion, came back this year and threw a 27-zip shutout on their home
That'll
field.
Be
and their
interesting,
home
that contest.
That should be a good one. You never know how good West Chicago will be this year. They are definitely improved. And then after that, on the 25th, another tough road game as they travel to Naperville North to take on the tough Huskies under Larry McCune, who always has his team ready to go. And then we will catch up again with this Tigers team on October 2nd at home against Glenbard South to take on Jerry Barton and his crew. And that South team has a load of speed.
Yes, they do, especially on the special teams. And they're hoping to sort of open it up a little bit with Scott Mason at the quarterback spot.
As for us, Jones Spacelink, next week we'll be at St. Charles, where the host Saints will take on Coach Rob Krieger's Larkin Royals in a big Upstate 8 battle. After that point, on the September 18th, it'll be Wheaton North at home against Naperville Central in a DVC battle. Coach Rex against Coach Bungie. Coach Rex's boys really threw the whammy on Downers Grove South in the opener, where sophomore Steve Havard ran for over 290 yards, 2 touchdowns. He also caught a touchdown pass. That should be fun to watch those guys go at it. And then on the 26th of September, we talked about it, Bruce Donash's boys, the West Chicago Wildcats, in a Saturday afternoon game, travel to Glenbard South as we close out the month with the Raiders and the Wildcats on Jones Spacelink's Game of the Week. A lot of other great games coming up in October as well.
And just received a little tidbit from Glenbard West JV coach Lee Maciejewski.
Lee.
And he wrote down on a piece of paper, Glenbard West Softs have won 48 games in a row.
Not too bad.
Not
too bad
we'll
at all.
see if they can, use a little bit of that. I'm sure a few guys, a little bit of the inexperience showed in the first half, and that's to be expected with only 2 starters back. And we'll see if they can come back here in the second half, put a couple marks on the board, and knot it up.
All right, the Toppers kicking off. We're going to get a chance to see Greg Janicek kick off for the first time this year. He's known to put the football in the end zone. Let's see if he can do it here. This one's short, not a good one at all. At the 15, taking it this time are the Tigers. Mike Lafito gets it up to about the 26 after he avoided a tackler. It's a 6-yard return. And Jim Covert will not be happy with that kickoff, Joe, because Janicek, like we talked about in our pregame, he won the kickoff contest at that Ohio State camp he was at. Also kicked the longest field goal at 61 yards. On that kickoff, had the wind at his back and only got it to the 15.
That's right, and Peter Lee making the stop right there, and we'll see if Janicek can get off a better boot the next time around. It seemed like he got underneath the ball a little bit.
Popped it up a little bit.
Yeah.
The sun has ducked behind the clouds, as you can tell here on our Jones Spacelink Game of the Week. Ben Kloss starting out the second half with the Tigers on top, 14-zip. Here's Phil Adler breaking a tackle, taking 3 guys with him up to about the 36. And he broke Tony Cozy's tackle inside the 30, and he picked up nice yardage there, 8 yards, 2nd and 2.
That's tough to do on Mr. Cozy.
His dad, Jim, one of the assistant coaches on this team. His brother, Jim, was on this squad last year. Tremendous player he was.
You could hear some of the Glenbard West coaches, let's go, let's tackle. Not doing much tackling out there.
Got to be wrapping up. Cozy did not wrap up there, but Adler, so tough to bring down one-on-one. 2nd and 2, great situation for the Tigers. This time it's Jimmy Johnson off the right side. He's got nowhere to go. Nice gang tackling over there. Looked like Antoine Watkins on top of the pile. Also in there, one of the first guys, Eric Jackson, from his strong safety spot. It looks like it was maybe a pickup of a few inches. Got back to the line of scrimmage, let's say. No gain. 3rd and 2 now for the Tigers.
Really stuffed him right there, trying to go over the right side, and nothing going. Glenbard West, a little better.
The Hilltoppers can stuff the Tigers here after that 8-yard pickup. That will be a huge emotional boost for the offense. 3rd and 2. Receiver to the near side. Nothing there. A great job of gang tackling from Javel Knox. And a number of other tacklers in there, including Antoine Watkins as well as Mike Victor.
Yeah.
And no gain for Adler. 4th and 2. The Tigers have to punt.
Mike Victor just really plugged up that hole.
Oh, he's a big kid, just a junior, one of the few junior starters on this West team. 5'11", 250. That is one big plug. It's going to be Melka, we should say, and Jackson back, both standing at around their 30-yard line.
Bad snap.
Prodell, nice job to get the punt off. It's a squibber, but it's going to go sideways, taking a west bounce, and it's down by LaFido right at about the 50-yard line, actually still in Glenbard West territory. Hilltoppers have great field advantage to start the second half.
Tell you, how is LaFido, though, on special teams for Wheaton Warrenville South?
Looks like a Glenn Kozlowski of the Bears.
Wow.
All over the place.
I mean, the ball's bouncing the other way. He realizes that and just pounces on it. He's all over.
1st and 10 for the Toppers. The nose of the football close to the midfield stripe. Bill McBride again running the show. It's Knox and Adorno in the backfield. Jason Tusher, the receiver, out to the far side. Double tight ends. Brennan and Mahoney. Here's Knox off the right side. Not much yardage there. Met right away by Tim Misavage, the defensive end. A pickup of maybe 1 yard. Let's call it 2nd and 9.
Again, trying to use that power game. Let's see if Glenbard West opens it up a little bit here, Bob.
Kyle Ruck also in there on the tackle. 9:16 to go here in the 3rd quarter. The wind has picked up a little bit, blowing out of the southwest. 2nd and 9 situation. Knox and Adorno again in the backfield.
I think the Hilltoppers are going to have to loosen up some of those linebackers, Bob.
Central has 8 guys with 5 yards or less. Close to the line of scrimmage. Nothing there for McBride. Coming up with the big tackle there, Joe Reams, the linebacker. No gain. 3rd and 9.
That ain't loosening anything up right there. Maybe just a chin strap on Bill McBride's helmet.
3rd and 9 situation now. Definitely a passing down for the Toppers. Been a frustrating offensive afternoon for Glenbard West. And it's been a couple of big plays that have really propelled the Tigers to their 14-zip lead right now. One receiver to the far side. That's Tusher. McBride's got some time. Over the mid, almost picked off. Getting a hand on that one. Looked like Ryan Martin. Check that, Kerry Hayden, the cornerback. Got his hand on it and deflected it. It's going to be a punting situation for the Toppers.
That was a tough play for McBride. There was only about 3 Hilltoppers in the area, about 6 Tigers. He was really trying to thread the needle on that particular pass.
A lot of white shirts.
Here, we'll take a look at it again. Some good pass protection. Tries to throw that one in there.
5 guys in the area with white shirts. Look like 1 Topper. So here's Mike Shane. He'll stand at about his own 34-yard line. There was a bad snap in the first half for West. Oh, it's a fake. It's Adorno. He's got the first down and more. Inside the 40-yard line, down to the 39. A pickup of 12 yards and a first down for Glenbard West. Great call by Jim Covert and his staff.
Super call by Covert and company. Oh, they're just dying offensively. They don't look like they have any life to them whatsoever. Let's fake it.
Should have been looking for it. We should have been looking for it. Look at that, right to Adorno.
Great block,
a nice
right
block
there.
that sprung him. That block right there sprung Adorno for the extra yardage, and Jim Covert with the white baseball cap there, looking like a genius on that one. 1st and 10 from the 40. McBride passing. He's got a man open. That's Brennan inside the 30, taking tacklers near the 25. A pickup of 15 yards and another first down.
Glenbard West on the move.
Actually, that was Chris Gerwig, who just was inserted at the tight end spot, so he picks up 15 yards, and he took about 3 tacklers with him. After the spot of the football, they'll call it a 14-yard gain. But Glenbard West moving. They have picked up the momentum after that fake punt.
Certainly have, Bob.
7 minutes and counting to go, 3rd quarter. 14-zip Tigers, Toppers threatening. Adorno with the carry, sheds a couple of tacklers, gets it to about the 20-yard line. A pickup of 6.
Super job by DJ, just getting into the air, finding that little seam.
Yeah, he sliced right through the line there. There were a couple of tacklers from the Tigers, but a nice 5-yard gain. 2nd and 5. So a play like that can really turn the tide. It seems like Glenbard West has gotten a breath of fresh air here on this drive.
Is the crowd into it a little more?
I'd say a little bit. Just a little. Jason Tusher, the receiver to the far side. Pro set backfield. Double tight ends. McBride's throwing.
Look
to
out!
Tusher. Oh, it's picked off! He may go the other way. That's LaFino, I believe. He's going to go for the touchdown. No, it's not LaFino. It is Doug McLeod. Doug McLeod. We saw it developing from up here. Oh, my. We're going to have to get the numbers on that one. But McLeod returns it a long way for a touchdown.
How about that for a kick in the gut? Oh, my. McBride in the Glenbard West offense moving the ball after the fake punt. Looking strong. DJ Adorno in the air. Passes to Gerwig. And then a pass, a deadly killer pass on the sidelines. Picked off by McLeod, who will now try and kick the extra point up.
And does it go? No good. I guess he didn't have any air left into him after that one. We should have known that. So, goes as 20-0, but let's take a look. It was about a 75-yard return, I believe, here. Let's take a look where he catches it.
This ball is hit.
Catches it at about the 17, it looked like.
Could have been like right at the 20.
Let's call it about an 82-yard return.
That'll work.
All that matters, it's 6 points.
That's right.
We'll call it an 82-yard interception return for Doug McLeod. He didn't have any breath left when he went to kick the extra point and couldn't even get it up 10 yards. So it's 20-0. Wow, what a turn of events. My gosh.
Glenbard West, as we were mentioning, looked real good.
Maybe we could take a look at that one again. Boy, did McLeod turn on the Jets or what?
Man.
That was incredible the way he turned it on. He had one man to beat, and he just kept going. And you know, he had to be definitely heaving a little bit, bending over because he was so tired. Then he had to kick the extra point. Let's take a look at it one more time. Let's see if we can get the yardage.
This is too far of a pass for McBride.
That looked like he got it like right around maybe the 20 or the 18.
The wide receiver really didn't sell himself. Now let's go back to live action.
Here's the kickoff. It's taken by Melka at his own 10. Right up the middle, he's hit hard. And he's thrown down at about the 23-yard line. Making the tackle out there was Richard Walker again on the special teams. But somebody really lowered his shoulder into Melka as he was coming up to slow his momentum down.
I tell you, Rich Walker really had a nice grasp of him as well, and he threw him down.
So 20-0. It's been all big plays for Wheaton
Yeah,
Warrenville
that's what
South.
it's been.
43 yards, 33 yards, 82 yards.
An excellent punt here, a big penalty against Glenbard West. That's the way it's gone this afternoon, ladies and gentlemen.
1st and 10 from West, 23-yard line. Not much yardage there at all. Knox with the carry. picked up a couple. Let's call it 2nd and 8. Joe Reams on the tackle for the Tigers. He's been all over the field, Joe.
Man.
Joe
Really?
Reams, a real tough, hard-nosed kid, a wrestler for Wheaton Warrenville. He has just been flying to the ball today.
Still, the Hilltoppers really are going to have to open it up. There's still time left.
Down 20-0, they're gonna. Here's McBride back to pass on the play action. He's gonna have to run it. And he's hit hard out of bounds. Christian Olsen with the tackle. Knocked out at about the 28-yard line. It's gonna be a pickup of maybe 4. Gonna bring up a 3rd and 6 situation. Let's call it a 2-yard gain instead. Ball resting the nose right around the 30-yard line.
They've got to pick up this first down.
3rd and 6.
3rd and 6.
McBride looking over the defense. Right up the middle. Not much yardage
It
there
has
for
gone
Knox.
nowhere.
Javell Knox, maybe a yard or 2 if that, but West has to punt. Boy, Joe, we can really see from our angle on that interception. We're up in the press box, and we've got a good view. As there you see Knox shaking the head. He is frustrated. Playing both offense, defense, tosses the helmet a little bit.
He's ticked off.
Yeah, when we saw that play developing, it really looked like they were overplaying. McLeod was overplaying, playing some tough man-to-man defense.
Right.
He stepped right up front, took it all the way.
He was like in a bump and run coverage.
Here's Mike Shane getting ready to punt. No fake here from his own 20. Gets up a high kick. Adler will make the grab at his own 35 on the run, trying to turn the corner. Does. He's inside Hilltoppers territory. A big hit as he hooked up with Alex Silva in just a head-banging crash of a couple of helmets. He stepped out of bounds at about the 48-yard line in Glenbard West territory, returning it about 17 yards. Let's take a look at it one more time. Let's check out the collision at the end of this.
I thought it was Andy Grimm.
I got Alex Silva down there, 68. Let's take a look. Maybe it was Grimm.
23, where he lowers it.
Yeah, you're right. It was Grimm. Good eyes. Very good. Oh, boy, was that.
I haven't even gotten faced yet.
You're doing all
I
right.
haven't really made any risky calls.
Klaus throwing. Ooh, nice grab there. Ryan Martin with the catch. And it was Chris Malka on the tackle. It's going to be a pickup of about 4 yards. How was 2nd and 6?
How was that kind of
dangerous
play, though? Yeah.
Very dangerous.
Boy, if you ever want to get a squad back into it.
Yeah, if someone steps in front of that one, they're going the other way, just like McLeod did. That's a pickup of 4 yards. 2nd and 6 situation.
As a receiver, you have to sell yourself. And it just didn't happen for Glenbard West on that particular play. McBride's ball just hung a little too long.
There's a fumble, and I think West is, oh, wait a minute. Looked like West jumped on it, but nice job by Klaus, it looks like, who got back there to pick it up.
Klaus a little slow getting up, too.
Yeah, he recovered it. That's the 2nd fumble of the afternoon for Wheaton Warrenville. Fortunately for them, they have not lost it. That looked like about a 7 or 8 yard loss. Going to bring up a 3rd and 16 situation.
Play it safe?
Probably, I would think so. You hear a lot of Glenbard West players on the sideline saying, watch the draw,
yes.
Watch the draw. That's what really hurt the Hilltoppers when Adler had the touchdown. Here's Klaus. Oh, nice option fake. Breaks through the line. He's going to be short of the first down by about 6 yards as Javell Knox made the tackle. But he picked up close to about 9 yards on that one as he sprung through the line. But the Tigers will have to punt.
Glenbard West needs a nice return, too.
They need something to get them going again. They had it with the fake punt, but a big play that South's defense turned in on the interception return of 82 yards from Doug McLeod. That has really deflated West. It's Jackson and Melka back there. Prodell's punt. Nice high one. And it's Jackson trying to cut back. Trying to get around the field. Oh, Knox just put a crunching hit. Big yardage in front of Jackson. Spins through, he's going to go. There's no one who's going to catch Jackson. He's at the 25, 20, 15. Touchdown, Eric Jackson. Oh, my, did you call that one? Oh, they're going to need a nice return, I said. There's no yellow flags down.
Excellent block by number 21, Javel.
Oh, my, Javel Knox put a ball-crunching block. Oh, we have got to look at this one again and watch for Javel Knox's block, which sprung the whole thing. He crushed, I believe it was, I think it was Tim Savage. Oh, we'll show you that one again after the extra point. The extra point is coming up from Janasek. We have had big plays galore. Oh, Eric Jackson.
The crowd and everybody's into a frenzy right now. You could tell.
Yeah, they're a little shaken up, to say the least. Oh, my. 1:39 to go here in the third quarter. Let's take a look at that one again. There's a timeout on the field if we could. Javel Knox just put an unbelievable
92-yard return.
Yeah, watch this hit by Knox.
It was a beautiful punt.
Yeah, it was. Watch the hit coming up by Knox. Look at 21. Watch 21. Pow! Right there.
Oh, he took out two of them. And then what's unbelievable about this punt is he gets through that maze.
St. Meyer misses the tackle right there. Steve St. Meyer had a great shot of stopping him at about the 45 in Glenbard West territory. Could not make the tackle. That hit was either, I believe it was on Tim Savage or Chris Kirby. Mike LaFido was also taken out by a blocker down there. But a 92-yard punt return by Eric Jackson. And, you know, he's searching for the oxygen tank right now.
Well, I mentioned they needed a nice return. It turns out to be 6.
That was very nice. 92 yards. We have seen some great plays, Joe.
Some awesome special teams already here in week 1, folks.
So here's Janasek on for the extra point.
This is big.
20-6 our score. Still plenty of time, over a quarter to go. Janasek crushes it. Right through the uprights. 20-7 our score. 1:39 to go in the third quarter.
Plenty of time. Boy, if that doesn't pump new life into you.
Maybe we can take a look at that one more time because it deserves to be shown again. That was an awesome play by the Hilltoppers. Great blocking. We saw just a few minutes before that, Joe, Javel Knox come off the field, toss the helmet a little bit,
sit on the bench,
tired, and he comes
there he
back
is right there.
Yeah, they're all
saying,
happy.
yeah, I saw you.
There you see Jackson.
I saw you.
Who's the guy with the biggest smile on his face? Eric Jackson. And you know Javel is going to be remembering that block that he threw in the Savage. And they took LaFido out too. It looked like LaFido was going to catch him on the pursuit, but he was taken out. And watch Knox with the hit. Watch number 21 come up here with the big hit. He's going to come into your screen right here. Watch
nice
21 with the hit.
Takes out 2 of them.
Bang! Right there. And this opens it up. Now watch St. Meyer miss the tackle, number 4, right there. Then there's another missed tackle, and then Jackson's off to the races. No one's going to catch him. The last guy who had any chance of catching him was, I believe, Todd Falstich, the linebacker, and that wasn't much of a chance. The band is kicking it up here. All right, Janasek getting ready to kick it off. Gets a little leg into this one. He'll kick it, and it rolls out of the end zone. Right at actually the goal line. It'll be 1st and 10 at the 20. And Glenbard West has a little more hop in its step right now with a 20-7 deficit, but they've got the momentum back.
Very important for Glenbard West if they want to hop back into this one. They're still a little ways off to force Wheaton Warrenville South to go 3 and out.
So Wheaton Warrenville would love to get a first down here and take the crowd out of it a little bit. Glenbard West defense jacked up, markers down. There was some movement, illegal procedure on the Tigers. So that just jacks the crowd up even more as they push the ball back 5 yards. Ball right now at the 15, 1st and 15.
And I think, let's see how Wheaton Warrenville South plays it. If they play a little conservative or if Kloss drops back.
This game similar to last year's game, but the score switched around. Glenbard West won last year's 19-7, dominated for the most part. Wheaton Warrenville South is dominated for the most part, except for that big play there. And some early movement again. It looked like Charlie Wiggins, one of the guards, moved early for Wheaton Warrenville. Push it back another 5. Not the kind of momentum changer John Thorne and his Tigers wanted here on this next series.
Not at all.
Maybe we can see who moved along that line. I thought Charlie Wiggins, number 53, jumped early off the left side. We may be wrong, but either way, it's going to go as a legal procedure. Another 5 yards back. That's 2 straight. That's 2 straight. We're going to head to the live action here. 1st and 20 now. We'll try to see who that was offside after this play. Here's the give. Johnson sweeping right. Breaks a tackle. Still on his feet, and Janicek touches him down as he gets over the 20 to about the 21, a pickup of 11 yards. And with the way things have been going today, Joe, when you see a broken tackle, it could mean big-time yardage. Take a look at that one last play before this one, the offsides, to see who did jump for Wheaton Warrenville. I believe it's off the left side. Yep, it was Wiggins early, 53 there. But a nice pickup.
How about that? That's so big right there. That is so big, that play. It's hard to describe it.
Except big. 2nd and 10. Kloss is throwing. He's in trouble. Oh. And he's hit by his own man. Credit the tackle out there to number 80. Ryan Mahoney from the outside linebacker spot. And that's going to go as a loss of 3. 3rd and 13 now. We've seen here a little bit, Joe, with Kloss, is that he's put the ball down a little bit early. He's panicked a little bit, but that's just from inexperience. He's just playing his first varsity ball. This is his first game on the varsity level, but he has been improving every single day, according to Coach Thorne, in his passing and running the offense. And right now, he's leading this team to a 27 lead right now. Here's the draw. Adler trying to get outside around Watkins. Does. Lowers the head with a big crash. And gets it close to the first down. He's going to be a little short. Another big collision down there. And that's going to end the first quarter. Our score after 3, 20-7, Wheaton Warrenville South. When we come back, the 4th quarter on Jones Space Links Game of the Week.
If you gotta send a package and it's gotta get there quick, it's pack and send. Pack and send. If you're packing up and moving and you wanna do it slick, it's pack and send. Pack and send. For the boxes and the shipping, any number, any size, they can handle all your packing. You just won't believe your eyes. It's pack and send. 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 520 Rice Road, Schaumburg. Call 529-PACK and send. 529-PACK and send.
That's 529-PACK.
When you walk through the doors at Young's Appliances, you know you're important. That's because Young's listens and works with you to find a product that fits your budget, space, and personal style. That's something Young's is proud of and takes very seriously. At Young's Appliances, you'll find quality name brand appliances at competitive prices and a professional sales and service staff to back it all up. Young's Appliances, a reliable name in appliances for more than 60 years.
Wheaton Warrenville has to punt. Oh, there's a fake. And they're not going to get there unless second effort. Yeah, Adler Didn't look like he was going to do it, but the second effort got him there. Oh, my.
Just sheer power.
Oh, it looked like he was stopped short, kept the legs moving, and got the first down.
There it is, right there. That's when the power game comes into play. Here you go. You're back into the contest. You force them to punt, and then they just plow you over.
John Thorne, Jim Covert, pretty good friends. They exchange films all the time. They watch scrimmages of their teams when they play each other. John Thorne said, hey, Jim, touche, as Central did the fake punt to perfection, and they got the first down just like Glenbard West did earlier this game. It's going to be a penalty on Wheaton Warrenville. Let's take a look again at that play with Phil Adler that closed out the third quarter of action. Listen to this hit. Listen to the hit. Adler trying to get outside around Watkins. Does. Lowers the head with a big crash. Oh, boy, that was a big crash.
They are sticking out there.
Oh, my. The collision there. We weren't sure who it was that got the brunt of that one. But, boy, when you get hit by Phil Adler, you are going to remember that number. Number 32. Oh.
The L.
Yeah, after the first down and the penalty. 1st and 15 now. Kloss.
Dangerous.
Pitches it to Johnson. Around the corner. Janusek knocks him out of bounds at about the 45 in Glenbard West territory. And Jim Johnson turned the corner for some big yardage. Let's take a look at that one more time again. But Johnson, my oh my, did he get out there in a hurry. Janusek in pursuit. Here you see it again. And watch him turn the corner. And Janusek.
That's all he can do.
Has to make the tackle there and get him out of bounds. That was a big pickup of about 28 yards. 1st and 10 from the 45. 2 receivers to the far side.
Busted.
Busted play. Kloss gets close to the line of scrimmage. Making the tackle out there was Matt Brennan. He may have gotten back to the line. I'm not going to say he gained maybe a yard on that one. Call it 2nd and 9. Miscommunication in the backfield. Tigers moving the football. Keeping the clock going, although not on that play. Kloss was knocked out of bounds.
Glenbard West is really going to have to dig in here. They have to stop the Tigers.
2nd and 9 situation. Ball at the 44 in Glenbard West territory. Here's Adler. Gets a block from Johnson. Turns the corner inside the 40. Spins his way about to the 38.
Great.
And he picks up about
tackle.
Picks up about 7.
Chris Melka was a great open field tackle. It was a mismatch and a half. But Melka does the smart thing and just wrap up Adler by the ankles.
That was about a 50-pound mismatch there. Melka just about 160 and Adler weighing in close to 210. It's going to bring up about a 3rd and 4 situation here. It's going to be one of the biggest plays of the game right now. If West can stop him and get the ball back,
Hilltoppers
still got a good shot.
Disruption back there. You got to force Wheaton, Warrenville South to take a different direction.
It's to give to Adler. He's got the first down and more. Phil Adler keeping the feet going and hiding behind a few people. He's only 5'7". Gets the first down with a pickup of 6 yards. Boy, big play for Wheaton Warrenville.
Well, the L just kept it going on the tracks. He just kept chugging. As you mentioned, Bob, it's the footwork. It's totally the footwork. And as long as he's digging up turf, he's moving forward.
So 1st and 10 for the Tigers at the 34-yard line of Glenbard West. 20-7 our score. Wheaton Warrenville on top. Clock is ticking. 9.5 minutes to go in this one. Kloss, he's sacked from behind. Coming in was Mike Victor from the defensive guard spot with the sack. It'll go as a loss of about 3 yards. 2nd and 13.
Now Wheaton Warrenville South trying to find a little pattern down the field. Couldn't come up with it. And Kloss sacked.
If I remember correctly, that is the official second official sack of Kloss. If you remember in the opener last year, there was about at least 4 or 5 sacks for Glenbard West. I believe it was Craig Williams who had a huge game. Had like 4 sacks for Glenbard West.
Timeout.
There's the timeout. Let's take a look at that last play, which Kloss kind of caught up. The pocket really collapsed upon him. We'll watch Victor come from the right side in a sack and grab him from behind. With nobody, he was basically untouched. You know, it wasn't a speed rush. He's 250 pounds. But Victor did a nice job to get in there.
He beat, I believe it was Chris Kirby. He beat Chris Kirby.
8:45 left to go in this one. Right now, Wheaton Warrenville South looking very good with a 20-7 lead. And just a reminder, this game here can be seen, the highlights of it, on Sports Week. Now with the football season in session, you can see Sports Week on Thursday nights at 7 o'clock, Friday nights at 6:30, just before our game of the week, Saturday mornings at 9:30, again just before our game of the week, and then the following Tuesday night at 7 o'clock. So there's 4 chances for you to check out Sports Week, get the highlights of your local team, see the local athletes on there. You may even see yourself, believe it or not. Plenty of highlights on Jones Space Link Sports Week.
Get that inside scoop before some of the teams do battle with our coaches segment.
All right, 2nd and 13 now for Wheaton Warrenville South. The football at the 36 in West Territory. Here's the pitch to Adler, being strung out. Nowhere to go, but makes yardage.
Oh, no.
Breaks the tackle, cuts inside. He may go. He stopped at about the 10-yard line. Saving the touchdown was Matt Brennan. Bill Adler, more big yardage there. A pickup of about 25 on that rush.
Oh. Let us take a look at that one again in terms of Adler shredding tackles.
He had nothing. He had nothing, Joe. Watch
Look
this.
at Adler. Look at the pursuit right back there. It's Javelle Knox.
Yep.
Javelle Knox has him wrapped. And he gets away.
Unbelievable running from Phil Adler. Boy, is he incredible in this first game.
It's almost, in a way, a couple plays have turned out Adler versus Knox, and Adler's won a good majority of them.
So 1st and 10 now, at about the 10. And a marker going down. It's going to be a delay, a game violation against the Tigers, and you'll see that in the first game a lot. You know, John Thorne will iron that out with his team. Sure, at least maybe by game 2, if not the midway point. So it's now, check that, 1st and 15 now from the 15.
Tigers looking to put this one away.
Here's the pass for the corner. Oh, almost a great catch out there. Kenny Sonnenberg trying to make the over-the-shoulder grab. Could not do it.
Looks like it almost went through his hands.
And Eric Jackson, one of the defensive backs for Glenbard West, is not out there right now. He's getting some equipment repair along the sidelines. See if they try to exploit that position. The starter is out there, out of the lineup for Glenbard West. So 2nd and 15. They've got Martin on that side now. You see Wheaton Warrenville South, that is, loves that play that we just saw. Here's Christian Olsen running out of the backfield. Gets it to the 11, a pickup of 4. So 3rd and 11. Wheaton Warrenville can get the ball inside the 1 and still get a first down.
How about that? Oh, you can hear the Glenbard West coaches saying, wrap
it up. It's terrible. So it's going to be 3rd and 10 now. Football resting at about the 11. There's definitely field goal range for the Tigers. Loss over the middle's got a man. Great catch by Olsen at about the 1-foot line. His knee is down. You got to remember, in high school football, once the knee is down, that's where the ball goes. And that should be good enough for a first down. Let's take a look at this one again. What a grab.
Oh, my.
Christian Olsen, we saw him run from the backfield, now from the tight end slot. Watch this grab. Oh, right on the fingertips.
Fully extended.
Oh, what a catch by Christian Olsen. John Thorne said he is a tremendous athlete. We've seen him roaming around from the linebacker spot all afternoon. He just ran the ball not too long ago. And now he makes the great grab. 1st and goal from the 1. Tigers threatening to put this one away. 7 minutes to go. It's Adler. No problem. 1-yard touchdown run for Phil Adler. 26-7 Tigers.
Right through, a nice gap. The offensive line smelling it. Smelling victory. They just open up a nice hole for Phil Adler. He just cakewalks in there.
So it's 6:55 left to go in this game. Wheaton Warrenville South is in command. 26-7. Doug McLeod getting ready here for the extra point. Take a look at that TD run right after this. And it's straight through. 27-7. Wheaton Warrenville South. Let's take a look at Phil Adler's 2nd touchdown of the day. And Joe, rightfully, he deserved this one after that one run.
Just some powerful blocking up front. He gets in there.
(27-7).
Tim Prodell pushing his man out in front. Adler hunched over on the sidelines, but he's really worked his tail off.
Would you say this is sweet revenge for John Thorne and his Tigers after the 19-7 loss last year?
Think so. They were really ready to play some football on the road.
And the thing is, he was a little worried because coming in, the Hilltoppers really had kind of an advantage over the Tigers. They had 2 weeks of double session practices, while the Tigers, who started school a little bit earlier, only had 1 week of doubles. So that gave the extra practice time to West, but it really looks like the Tigers are the ones who are a little more fine-tuned coming into this one.
Yes, indeed. They executed some nice plays. That pass to Olsen out of the backfield was sweet.
He was wide open. Here's Mickelson, the kickoff. High end over end, a little short at about the 10. It's DJ Adorno. Follows his wall of blockers, and then he's taken down at about the 26. So a return of 16 yards for DJ Adorno. And Glenbard West has a major hill to climb. No pun intended there.
No, I mean, I think what they're trying to work on probably now would be just to put together a long drive that shows a little bit of the pass, shows a little bit of the run, and then just build from there.
How's the DuPage Valley Conference looked in the first week? If Wheaton Warrenville South holds on here, which they should, 7-1. Well, actually, we shouldn't say that because Glenbard South is playing today too. But 6-1 through the first 7 games.
It is without question. I think the best conference in the state.
No doubt about it.
It really backs it up. Playoff performances really back that up, and that's what people take a look at.
A quick hitter off the right side. Maybe a couple yards there.
Sound strong football out of the DVC.
We'll take a look at it. Last 2 years, Wheaton Warrenville South has been in the 5A championship where they've lost to Mount Carmel. Last year, it easily could have been a win except for a controversial call. Naperville North went a super long way. Glenbard North has won 17 straight games in conference, which is a minor miracle. And they went into the 6A finals against East St. Louis. So, tremendous football in the DVC. Here's a over the head, big hit by Mike LaFido down there. The pass intended out there for number 80, Ryan Mahoney, goes incomplete.
LaFido really laid into him.
Oh, yeah.
You can't hang him out like that to drive. McBride's pass was a little too high. He's going to have to work on a lower trajectory.
You mean trajectory?
Yeah.
That's all right. It's our opener too, right? 3rd and 7 is the situation. And the
I had it with these fancy words. Then you have to throw a dart.
You have problems when you try to get fancy.
A dart down low, I do.
3rd and 7. Expect a pass here. Oh, ooh. Early movement by Knox.
Nobody saw it.
He got set in time. Here's the screen to Javel. And he's got some yardage in front of him. Turns it upfield before taken out of bounds by LaFido at about the 43. Check that instead, the 47. And a nice pickup and the first down there. Looked like a pickup of about 17 yards.
Are you surprised that we haven't seen a little bit more of that?
Yeah, I am. That's
probably
the first pass
screen.
Yeah.
And that looked real good.
Yeah, they had some good blocking out there. Really faked out the South defense. with one of the best plays this afternoon on the offense, if not the best. 1st and 10 at the 49 in West territory. McBride on the keeper. Nice job, faked out LaFido, and he's going to pick up about 7 yards. To bring up a 2nd and 7, LaFido decided he would stay with the running back, and McBride made the wise decision to keep it. Picked up 7 as he talks to Jim Covert, getting some instructions. But there is 5 minutes left to go in this game. 27-7. Wheaton Warrenville South on top, about to go to 1-0. Start off their season on a very good note. Jason Tusher, the receiver on the far side, has not seen the ball all afternoon. And this one batted right back. The hands up on defense from Warrenville. And let's take a look at that one again and see who actually batted it down. It might have been Kyle Ruck, number 99. Maybe we can see that one again. Let's see who gets the hands up in the middle here.
There's been some good protection. McBride, a nice drop back. Oh, nice play.
Yep, it was Kyle Ruck. Good job. That's what they teach you, the fundamentals. When there's a pass, get those hands up. And Ruck did it. 3rd and 3 right now for West. Running backs in the pro set. McBride on the keeper. He's got the 1st down.
McBride with the keeper.
Good leg drive as well.
Yeah, the tackle made out there by number 45, Kerry Hayden, from his defensive back spot, but a 1st down. Pretty nice pickup there by McBride. He makes some pretty good decisions there on the option. He's got some tough shoes to fill. You remember Darren Dunlap, a tremendous option quarterback on this Glenbard West team. The offense moving a little bit now for Glenbard West. They are down by 20 points with 4.5 minutes to go in this one. We hope you've enjoyed our Jones Spacelink Game of the Week, the opener between these two solid teams, as McBride off the fake just throws it away. He was looking for Mahoney out there. Really did not have much, though. So it's 2nd and 10 now. We have had a gorgeous day for football here on a gorgeous football field with a tremendous scenery in the background here in Lake Ellen at Deshawn Field, home of Glenbard West. The alma mater of our own Joe Higgins. You can see Joe on our Community Connection program along with Movie Time with Deb Piscola. Joe is a Glenbard West grad. Obviously, he is not too happy with the score right now. Here off the play action, McBride over the middle. Check that on the sideline, threw it away again, looking for Mahoney. Actually, the closest one there was Steve St. Meyer.
Dangerous. Very dangerous.
3rd and 10 now. Glenbard West's offense has been stymied for the most part this afternoon. Their only score coming with 1:39 to go in the 3rd quarter. A big play, an unbelievable 92-yard punt return from Eric Jackson. Thanks to a great block from Javel Knox. And that's been the only scoring that Glenbard West has done this afternoon. It was 7-0 Wheaton Warrenville after 1, 14-zip at the half, 20-0 in the 3rd before the touchdown from Jackson. Here's McBride on the pitch to Adorno. He cuts inside, picks up about 4. It'll bring up a 4th and 6 situation, and you know the Toppers will be going for it. So it was 20-7 after 3 quarters, and then Phil Adler on a 1-yard touchdown run after he had a great 25-yard run on the same series, breaking a number of tackles. That made it 27-7, Joe. This kind of brings up a comment that I just remembered that Jim Covert made to us a few weeks ago. He said, what we did so successfully against Wheaton Warrenville last year in the 19-7 win was that we prevented the cutback runs.
Yes.
But that has not been the case today, as Adler has had a number of big cutback runs that have killed the Toppers defense.
And poor tackling. Great pickup on the blitz.
And it's complete to about the 21-yard line. And a 1st down. Making the catch was Jason Tusher, who we said had not touched the ball all afternoon. He does there, and he gets the 1st down.
1st and 10.
Take a look at it again as the Toppers. We won't take a look at that one again, but trust us, Jason Tusher made a nice move to get on the outside. As you hear the Glenbard West band kicking it up, but it may be a little, how are we saying that again? Too little, too late. Hey.
I see, I don't get fancy. Too late.
Too late. Under 3.5 minutes to go. Here's Adorno off the right side. He's got a few more. DJ picks up about, let's call it 5 yards. It'll be a 2nd and 5 situation right now, with the ball resting at about the 17-yard line. This has been a good offensive series for Glenbard West. But again, too little, too late. Got it right that time. 27-7, just under 3 minutes to go. Here's Adorno. Gets around the corner a bit, inside the 15 to about the 13. He picks up about 4 there. Going to bring up a 3rd and around 2 yards to go, maybe 1.5 for the first down. Glenbard West, the last 2 times they've been on their own field, they have lost. Not a good sign. They lost the playoff game on Deshaun Field to Naperville North to end their season last year, and they will lose this one today to Wheaton Warrenville South. The DVC is hurting Glenbard West.
Adorno with the carry.
There you see Adorno struggling for a couple more. They're looking for some big things from DJ this year as he gets inside the 10-yard line. It's good enough for the first down.
The Hilltoppers will be traveling to Willowbrook High School. Come support the hitters.
Glenbard West will be at Willowbrook. Kind of a crossover battle there. Willowbrook from the West Suburban Gold Conference.
They lost 7-zip versus Glenbard East.
Yeah, Glenbard East, the Rams. Looking good early. The Wheaton Warrenville South team will have its home opener against Streamwood, against Dave Smiley's team. Here's McBride on the keeper. Can't get around the corner, but he avoids the tackle. With the pad popping, he's going to try to turn the corner. He can't get around. Number 78, Lance Steffi. And after all that running, turns out to be about a loss of, looks like about 4 yards. So they say he stepped out of bounds at the 14. A lot of running all for naught there. So it's going to be a 2nd down and goal from the 14.
Second down, 14-yard throw for the first.
Well, Glenbard West looks pretty solid, though, on this drive, and I think that's a little bit of a positive heading out from this contest. Real solid on this drive.
Glenbard West can't get down after this loss. We saw Wheaton Warrenville lost their first game last
just
year
helped
to this
them.
team. Yeah. There's a sack in the backfield. Number 58, Tim Misavage on the sack. So another loss there as West continues to go back. That time the loss, 3 yards. So it's at the 16, 3rd and goal. But as we were saying, Joe, Glenbard West, as they take a timeout, cannot get down, because you saw what Wheaton Warrenville South did last year as Wheaton Central. Put that side note in there. They lost their first game. They were pretty much dominated. 19-7 loss to this Glenbard West team. They go on, rip off a bunch of wins in a row before losing to Glenbard North, and then they go all the way to the state title before they lose to Mount Carmel in a game which really one play made the difference, or else they would have been state champs. So you can't get down at this stage.
That's right. Just sort of like even hit me before the game even started. In a funny kind of way, I feel the loser of this contest almost gains more than the victor.
How about that?
I really believe that. I believe the extra work,
know.
the extra hunger, the lesson that you were taught, it shouldn't happen again. And Coach Covert, you know, he's going to work on that, you know, run stopping and get that offense in gear with Bill McBride and create some more openings for Javel Knox. You have to have more openings for Javel Knox. He's your best. He's your bread and butter. And Knox here in the second half, he's got 3 carries, 6 yards. And then in the first half, you know, only 4 carries, 4 or 5 carries. That's not enough carries. That's not that much yardage.
Got to give credit to that Wheaton Warrenville South defense, and for them, you know they'll take this 27-7 win.
JaVale Knox,
don't get us wrong.
In the first half, 6 carries for 22 yards. So he got 9 carries for 28 yards, and Knox is not happy with that.
There you see him with Coach Jim Covert. Neither one of those two happy with the way this situation has become. 27-7, 1:15 to go in this ball game. Wheaton Warrenville South will move to 1-0, and this is just a kind of a bonus for them, Joe. I mean, last year at this time they came out 0-1, a little demoralized as they were beaten up pretty good by Glenbard West. Here they're 1-0 this year, and they can look back on what they did last year, although it is a new season, and say, hey, we're already ahead of the game after one game this year.
Yeah, they are. That's just how
and
powerful.
in a big way.
That's just how powerful this unit is, and they'll just get stronger under Coach John Thorne. They cannot be complacent.
Both teams, super solid programs. McBride, and nice catch there along the sideline. It's Adorno, and you can see why DJ Adorno is so big in their plans, because he runs super well and he's got great hands, as you saw right there. So that gets it to about the 12-yard line. Still going to be 4th down, though. 4th and goal for Glenbard West. They try to punch it in and have a little positive going in to their game against Willowbrook next week. Under a minute to go, actually 45 seconds and counting. Actually, Greg Janisek is going to kick a 31-yard field goal. Give him a little work. Got a great leg. Let's see if he can get it through. High snap. Gets it down. The kick is up. And it is good. So, the 31-yard field goal for Greg Janisek. And that's a little bonus for them, a little positive to put on the board. Makes it 27-10. Wheaton Warrenville South with 33 seconds to go in this game, Joe Snydoff. And you look at Wheaton Warrenville South, they have got to be super happy with the way they have played here. Their defense is dominated. Their offenses look good, although big plays were the key for them. They've got to be super happy. Glenbard West, as you can tell, the sun is hidden behind the clouds here. Glenbard West, tough loss for them as they were dominated for the most part today. Really did not generate very much offense. Glenbard West band and the fans not too happy with the way things have gone here. And their defense was killed by big plays. They could not stop Phil Adler. And that's the bottom line, Joe.
And Bob, Phil Adler on the day, 17 carries, 122 yards.
And those were 122 very big yards. A lot of times where it looked like he had nothing, he made a lot of nothing.
Those 2 big ones, 33 and 25.
Yeah, the 33-yarder at the end of the half was like a dagger in the heart for Glenbard West, because if they stop him there at 7-0 at the half, maybe the momentum swings a little bit, but there it's 14-0, that's the killer.
Ben Kloss had a good day too, 4 for 7, 74 yards. Not that many passes.
Here's LaFido. Check that instead, McLeod. And he breaks some tackles. He's got one man to beat, that's Janisek. And he knocks him out at about the 38-yard line. So Wheaton Warrenville continues to pile it on, although McLeod a little shaken up as you see him there on the sideline. He's pointing toward his legs. Let's hope that's nothing serious, because George McLeod, definitely a huge part of this team. He had the big 82-yard interception return for a touchdown in the 3rd quarter. He is also the kicker on this team. There looks like it may be just a cramp, Joe. They're rubbing the calf area right now. As you can see, the Tigers coaches.
Yeah, that's a very big concern.
Yeah, but they're getting ready for action as they're working here.
They're just going to knee it, and that'll do it.
Yeah. That's going to do it for this one. Wheaton Warrenville South gets its revenge with a 27-10 victory on the lower levels. At the freshman level, Glenbard West,
12-zip.
12-zip victory there. Then on the sophomore level, 28-7 victory for the sophomores for Glenbard West. But here, in probably the biggest game that matters the most, the varsity, Wheaton Warrenville South. They're partying on the home team's turf. 27-10 our score. Glenbard West loses this one. The 2 teams going through the traditional handshake at midfield, but Glenbard West has got to be down. We're going to come back with the game recap right after this on Jones Space Link's Game of the Week.
Tired of being out of touch?